Yeah, might work. See?
And then, at some point, I'm going to TPK my party out of spite. And then I'm just going to say, fuck it, and buy a pre-written campaign.
Pre-written campaigns are good.
Mm.
Make them play Curse of Strahd.
No. If I wasn't playing Curse of Strahd, I would. That would be the first one I would go to.
Well, there'd be what, like 20 sessions behind?
Chris, I have a feeling we're going through Strahd incredibly slowly.
I mean, not really. I mean, the idea is that you level up with Strahd, you level up every 1 to 2 sessions. We're roughly doing that. With the exception of late, the only reason we missed a level up was because of 2 party deaths.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I died.
Yeah, so we ended up missing a bit. Yeah. Alright. Hello and welcome everybody. I'm here with my players. Harlan. No, Harlan's not here. Where's Harlan?
Harlan and Simon have had to run off somewhere, I think.
Aw. Darn it.
They'd both be bead.
It's fine, we can get started without them. They can miss important details.
No. Simon remembers things. Oh, yeah,
Do I?
but Simon, yeah, a
we got
little
Simon
bit
here.
more than I do.
Okay,
We don't care what Harlan.
Sorry, I am back
Yeah.
now.
that's fine. Alright, I'm here with Sam,
Hello,
Simon,
Hello.
Jamie.
Hi.
and Infernal.
Because you caught me as I put spaghetti in my mouth.
Fuck
Fuck you.
We haven't got a Sudz because his family decided to be shouty today, and so Sudz has basically decided that he's going to do everything but be in the room where they are, and unfortunately his computer is where they are. So, yeah, that doesn't help. So he can't join today, so we miss you, Sudz, but I'll keep him informed. Harlan has gone to get food. Knowing Harlan's craze with food, he'll be gone and he'll come back in about an hour, so...
Or be asleep.
Or be asleep. Either way, it's fine. When you come back, Harlan, well, I'll just update him what needs to be done. Alright, so, usual announcements. Thank you to Zenosa for the art, Tabletop Audio for the free sound and music. Thank you to all combat maps were made in Dungeon Painter Studio, and all non-combat maps, like more detailed ones up here, were made on incarnate.com. Go and check each of those things out respectively. We're playing this on Tabletop Simulator, and this is the Crabby stream, The Dawn Seekers. So, let us begin. Last session, our party of adventurers. Elsyan, Queglod, Sasha, Malcom, Bern, and Rook had made their way from Adamanthia, trying to teleport and doing various things. They went to find some griffins. Using transport via plants, they went there and they discovered that the forest itself had come under the effect of a blight of some kind, a disease that had ridden the forest, a fungal disease as they later discovered, with the spores being partially airborne and the trees otherwise being withered and dying as they began to bleed, the bark falling away from them and the inside of the trees themselves beginning to bleed a thick red sap. The party was concerned of what consequence this may have had. As they went and ventured on in their attempt to get griffin eggs, they went up the mountains further, scouting ahead with Felipe and proceeding to get there at the cover of night. The party planned this perfectly. With the use of a resummoned Felipe and the dark vision from Devil's Sight, Queglod prepared her arcane gate and used it right at the moment to create a doorway next to one of the nests. Through went Sasha and Rook. With the two of them heading in, both performing their stealth to keep themselves quiet, they did an immaculate job with the aid of Malcom, who gave them pass without a trace. As they arrived on the platform, quiet as can be, despite Sasha's notorious clink-clanking, Sasha proceeded to banish the griffin. With the eggs exposed, they rushed over, grabbed two of them, yoinking them in from the nest, and getting out of there, through the arcane gate and through a prepared teleportation circle by Bern. As the process completed, the griffin came back, made various chicken noises, and the party then proceeded to be whisked away back to Adamanthia. In Adamanthia, they handed over the eggs to the Church of Steel, who would take care of them until one of them is raised enough to become the juvenile griffin that will be eventually raised and the loyal pet of Rook. But until such a time they were concerned, they rested up and they travelled to the Dragon's Sanctuary, or the edge of it. Seeing the outside of the Enchanted Glade, they saw the Enchanted Glade had suffered the same blight, the same pain. But a lot more of them were in the later stages of decay. The bleeding had begun, the bark had been stripped, large chunks lying on the ground, the leaves turned red, and the enchanted forest otherwise decimated. As the party remained there and stood and watched, a shout for Dippy was made by Malcom, but the Guardian did not show up. As they went to the Dragon Sanctuary, the rest of the party had a moment to breathe. As they were no longer in any form of threat or trouble, they arrived there and they saw Malcolm's baby dragon. The baby crystal dragon charged at him, headbutted him, and pinned him to the ground as they saw the rolling baby fat be carried away by an adult silver dragon. As they eventually decided to make their next motions, Bern cast teleport for the first time, successfully moving about 15 feet before deciding to take an alternative approach. Using teleportation circle, the party went to one of the safe houses within the Sanguine Sun and made their way out and up, no questions made, as a show of rank was given from Bern himself. And as the party made their way up and out, using a combination of Felipe and conjured animals, they took a 2-day journey and they cut it down to half-a-day journey. Flying overhead, making their way, they arrived at Golodon, exploring the city for what it was, found an inn, found 2 inns, in fact. One was interesting and a very well-made establishment, one where they otherwise stayed the night, but the place where they got food was a strange one called the Cursed Axe. With the various things that were happening and that it was a busy night, the barkeeper said she wouldn't be able to answer any of their questions, to come back in the morning when breakfast was ready. However, their morning was promptly interrupted. As the party had gone downstairs from their inn and otherwise were ready to head out to the Cursed Axe to ask various questions, while Sasha was putting on her plate mail after preparing her spells, and Malcom had sat down and prepared his spells, he proceeded to scry in the morning, checking first on the Prince of Blood. It failed. Typical. After all, he was a very skilled individual, and blocking it, that was something he was used to. But checking in on the Inquisitor, they saw various things. The Inquisitor was there, finishing up the writing of his spells for the day in the morning, as they were preparing to set out also. The Prince of Blood showed up, spoke to him about various matters, including the reducing of a ritual down to a much lesser duration, one that was expected to take a week, no longer taking nearly as much time. And with the mentioning of the seal weakening, Malcom realized where they were going. In that moment, the Inquisitor placed his hand on the shoulder of the Prince of Blood, and the two of them teleported. In that whisked fashion, they ended up outside, or inside of the Stone Ring Forest, maybe half a day's travel from the central mountain. Of the party being 4 days away, this was a rather large matter. They were going to get there first. Well, that was what they thought. With the party, or with him learning this, and the Prince of Blood taking his hands and drawing symbols in the air, he carved 2 portals, as 2 large demonic gorillas pulled themselves through, and otherwise stood there as he told them to watch and guard their flanks, before they continued heading towards the central mountain. The scry ends, and Malcom panics. With Arachne being shrunk by Featherwing, him and his familiars and other companions rush out of the room past where Sasha is and run down the stairs to where the rest of the party is. He shouts out to the rest of you, "The Prince of Blood! He's in the Stone Ring Forest. He's gonna get to the Bastion first." At which point, the party is struck with awe. A moment of, what do we do? As Sasha, you come down for the morning, you see the rest of your party standing there after hearing the commotion. You see that Malcom has mentioned something.
Oh, did Malcom tell you about his night terrors? Don't worry, I rocked him to sleep, it's fine.
Sasha, now is not the time.
Sasha, the Prince of Blood is getting to the Bastion of Rust. He'll be there within the day.
Oh shit, okay, let's go. Roll out.
I
How
have
the hell are we gonna get there?
I have a
Like-
spell that can get us there, but will be turned into clouds. I've never used it before, but it should be faster.
Fucking
Clouds?
How
cloud
fast
me.
are we talking?
We'll be able to get there in maybe 4 or 5 hours.
That sounds
Well-
good to me.
Do it.
It's
Do it
4
quickly.
days.
Time of the
Clouds?
essence. Turn me into a fucking cloud.
You know what? We don't have time. I'm with Sasha. Turn us into clouds.
In that moment, as he steps down from the stairs, you watch as he begins to draw natural symbols in the middle of the tavern. Some people are looking over with quite a lot of curiosity as what on earth is going on with the shouting. The innkeeper who stands there kind of looks over and goes, excuse me, are you... And in that moment, you all appear into your own little nimbus-like clouds. Malcolm's cloud, as you see it, seems to be a light stormy cloud, a little bit of grey, white on top, with miniature thunderbolts coming off of it. Who would like to describe their cloud next?
Not me.
Floofy. Floofy.
Although-
That is my cloud.
My
Floofy.
cloud is like reddish with drops of blood coming out of it.
Morbid.
You motherfucker.
Like a
As I said, my cloud is a very fluffy cloud.
Okay.
That it looks like your perfect cloud.
Rook.
Mine is just a really dark grey cloud with
Okay.
snow. Little bit of snow.
And Sasha?
Oh.
Smoky black. Absolutely pitch dark.
Smoky black.
It looks like ash is just floating in the air.
Mine is brilliant white, just because.
Yeah.
That's
Right.
how I was in season. Perfect.
Looking at, as all of you turn into clouds, the way this is going to work, as this is utilizing Windwalk, I discussed this with some others and Sudz earlier, it's going to work the same way as a polymorph works, with the exception that the HP, which you would get from a cloud, just goes off of your base stuff. Your stats don't change, none of your features change, none of your feats change. The only thing which changes is your move speed is a 300-foot fly speed. You are resistant to bludgeoning, piercing, and slashing from non-magical weapons. It takes you a minute to revert back, and you can only dash. While in this form, any points of exhaustion you accrue will go to your original form, meaning you will need to travel at a regular pace, not double dashing all the way. And that will mean that you'll be able to get there within 4 to 5 hours-ish.
Well, whoosh!
Getting your bearings, you all prepare yourselves for what you're going to be doing. You watch, or the people in the tavern watch as your entire party turns into clouds, and in that immediate moment, the party begins to move out of the doorway, beginning to make their way out, up, and beyond. As you head out of the doorway, following the leader as Malcom leads the way, you otherwise begin to head northwest at high speed. You begin to fairly quickly make your way towards the Stone Ring Forest, and to the centre of it, to be more precise. Are you travelling above, or high above the trees, above the trees, below the trees, or low to the ground?
I don't think we should go too high in case he does see us and cast some form of bullshit dispel or something like that.
I'd say
It's
above.
above. That way we can.
The safe side for Windwalk is that you will be able to descend 600 feet safely, after which you'll then take damage from beyond that 600.
I'd say above the trees.
I'd say we go for
We can
just
still
above the
see
trees,
down.
because if there's something in the trees that can hurt
We
us,
can
I'd
still
rather
see
it
down
didn't
because
hit
they're
us.
dead. They don't have any leaves on them.
They're not necessarily dead, they just don't have thick leaf.
Yeah, but we can still see down through them, so we can
Yeah.
see if there's something there.
So-
My vote is for just above the trees.
Yeah.
Just
Yeah.
Same.
Okay. You travel quickly. Just above the trees, you begin to travel over the top. You see the rustic colour of the ironwood. You see the exposed veins in the rustic colour, some of it a more raw iron colour of what you would usually find on smelting, suggesting that it's more of a recent exposure or otherwise grown tree. You see that the leaves themselves are also that beautiful and strangely calming rustic orange that covers all of the trees here. As you fly over the top of the tree canopy, you travel undisturbed for the most part. Being clouds, you don't stand out that much, and you see various wildlife. You see rust monsters, quite a few of them in fact, travelling around on the ground below as they proceed to travel in packs down here. You see that they are mostly, by the looks of it, hibernating during the day, but appearing as clumps of rocks in place as they rest in a small heap. You travelling further through, you can see that there's other life here as well. You see, strangely enough, squirrels and rabbits, deer, and looking at them, they seem to have taken on a slightly different appearance. You see no fruit, you see no nuts off of these trees, so it's curious, nor do you see any water in the vicinity, which is strange, but travelling quickly on, you travel past them. About an hour into your 4-hour journey at travelling at pace, you see the mountain begins to become a little bit closer into view, and you watch as clouds begin to gather above the mountain. Dark clouds, unnaturally forming, instantaneously becoming a series of thick black plumage wrapping around the peak of the mountain, and you watch as several spiraling kind of dark beads begin to spiral in through the clouds. You travel quickly, keeping your pace as to not gather up exhaustion. Over the next 2 hours, you frightfully watch as you get closer and closer. You watch as those beads get slowly but surely faster and faster, spinning closer and closer towards the center and pulling down almost like a funnel. As they do, they pull along the edge of the mountain until finally they hit the base. And as you are about 45 minutes to half an hour out, you hear a noise as it rushes past you, a shockwave of energy. In that moment, you can feel the raw power of where you are. You feel the wild magic flow through you as it shoots past all of you. As you begin to travel onwards, you watch as the cloud disperses, peeling away and breaking into chunks. What do you do?
I don't know if that was good or bad, and I'm very scared.
Definitely bad, but we've got to keep pushing forward.
You're about 45 minutes in. Or 45 minutes to go, sorry.
I think we keep pushing and hope for the best.
Yeah.
Okay.
Hope for the best, expect for the worst. What could go wrong?
Hope that was a sign of him starting, not finishing.
You continue to rush, making your way forward over the tops of the trees and the canopy. As you begin to get closer, you watch as animals are fleeing in the opposite direction, moving away from whatever is happening here. The shockwave has otherwise affected them, and you can see justly so. As you get closer below the canopy, Elsyan, you see this with your passive perception. As you travel over, you begin to see a darting and a dotting of various statues, about 10 minutes out from the base of the mountain where you are heading.
Huh.
You see the statues overgrown with this kind of dark, rustic iron ivy that reaches around their shoulders and their belly. You see that they kind of have their arms outstretched in moments of panic. Some of them stand there motionless, as if they were carved in place with a sword at their side. Others appear almost in cowering form, and others seem to be in swings of aggression, suggesting something or someone.
I'm guessing this is some sort of petrification. Wonderful.
There is no way to tell, unfortunately.
I got my guess and I'm sticking to it.
As you travel forward, with about 10 minutes to go, are you continuing on?
Push on.
Yeah.
I think so, yeah.
Okay. You push on, making it to the base of the mountain. As your small clouds, some of you more distinct than others, you come to the edge of the canopy, and you see a clearing ahead of you. Elsyan, you pick this up first as you see two large forms float, kind of flapping their wings, bird-like in design, kind of a long neck, a razor beak, and otherwise claws as they otherwise slowly float there. One of them otherwise landed above what looks to be the opening of a cave. The other one flying, flapping its wings and looking around, and below them, standing sentinel in the way of the entrance, you see two red gorilla-like creatures.
They're already here, okay.
Red gorillas have been spotted. Oh no.
Looks like they've already made it here.
And you see them standing outside of what looks to be a cave entrance. But darted around them, in a rather wide arc, you see a large number of statues, maybe 50 to 100. And as they begin to watch, they look around, scanning through the statues. You see small piles of rubble near the entrance near the other creatures that otherwise stand guard, with the statues otherwise poised and seemingly waiting.
Okay, I'm gonna blow this thing. We can attack these things in our cloud form, right?
No, you can take only the dash action or revert back at the cost of a minute.
Oh no. Back up, okay.
So I will not need Aurum, I do not need Fang anymore. That, otherwise a cloud. So, if you would like to position yourselves on this map, you are welcome to do so.
Can you invite me to the club? I can't get in.
Yes, let me quickly make sure that if I do Shift Tab, it's not going to show anything. Yes. Who do I need to invite? It's... Harlan's not on.
Oh shit, I forgot about that. Give me a
I can't
second.
invite him to the lobby, and Simon, you're not online on Steam, so I can't actually see you.
Fucking hell, this is laggy today. Is anyone else having lag problems with the server, or is it just me?
No, I think it's
Should be
just
able to.
you have the highest ping around.
Okay.
You're going
Is
up
there maybe a
300,
Windows
I
update
think.
going ahead that's not supposed to be happening?
I have no idea. Doubtful.
Okay, so, if you'd like to go ahead and position yourselves as you see fit, you are currently in cloud form. So, position yourselves as you would like.
Okay, I will have to sort myself out in a second. I recognise that art.
Good.
They're not normal gorillas. They're evil gorillas.
And these things!
I mean, look at them. They've got lip piercings and everything. They've got to be rebel gangsters.
I'm worried about these things.
These things, I don't know what those are.
I've never seen those, and I'm worried.
I'm scared.
I
don't-
have no idea what they are either.
And you've presumably seen them being drawn.
Maybe?
I mean,
I can't remember.
this is the
I've
thing
seen so
with
many things.
Chloe tends to keep most of this secret, or at the very least tries to not let Jamie see it all the time. And Jamie has the wonderful nature of... I don't think he gets to see the name of the creature, I think he just sees the art, so there's nothing really to reveal. But yeah, so, as you position yourselves around in your floating cloud forms with the otherwise stone statues seemingly just standing in an arc and watching, what do you do? Remember, it takes you a minute to revert.
we're
so
still we are still clouds, right?
Sure you want to be here, Sam?
Yes.
I mean, we can
I've
dash
never said I was
to
a set-
600 feet, I think.
We could just try and float past them.
Could.
Alright,
If they
how
hit
about
us,
that?
that could be bad. If
What's
they
our
hit
ace?
us,
Would hit us and then follow us into the cave, though.
yeah.
I mean, what are the chances of them being able to move at 300 feet per round?
What's the chances of that actually being useful speed inside a cave?
Better than that, how deep do we know that cave is? I mean, it could just be 100 foot past them. And I don't fancy fighting the Prince of Blood as a cloud.
I'll say, as Malcolm would have explained with Windwalk, it takes a minute to revert, and it counts as concentration, which means if you get hit, you have to start again. Which means if you go in there, and they get close to you and punch you, because your AC is currently 10, plus your Dex mod, because none of you are wearing armor, if you get hit, then, and you have advantage because you'd be stationary concentrating, so if I hit you, and you fail your con save, then you immediately break the concentration and you have to start that 1 minute again.
Okay, what if we head up above the cave entrance, and then take it down, and then we make our way down the cliff?
Why don't we just not overcomplicate this? Revert where we are now, a bit stealthy ahead behind trees, not out in the open like they. And then we charge at them and hope for the best.
Where are the statues exactly?
The statues are in a general arc around this direction. They're standing about 40 feet out from each of these creatures.
That is a range that I can work from.
I really do think it might be better if we start our way attack from above the cave entrance. And I just want that said before we begin. I will happily go along with whatever.
Who else wants to mark Sasha's objections as duly noted and carry on anyway?
Can you go behind the tree, please, and we just go back here?
Sasha and tabletop?
No.
He's loading now.
Sashia.
Also, there is a tree here, that's why I put him.
Yeah.
And at this moment, as you're floating around and you're seeing the large gorilla thing, you see the statues waiting, you see the large vulture bird-like individuals kind of waiting above the cave entrance, you watch as one of the bird creatures flinches and you hear a thud from inside of the cave.
Okay, reverting here.
Yeah, we don't have time to.
We don't have time to come up with with elaborate plans. We do what we must.
We revert and we smack.
We revert to type and we smack exactly to Sasha.
What kind of thud was it? Like something falling or something stepping?
Like something very heavy hitting the ground.
Okay.
So more like a rump.
Oh, hopefully that's not the shield just dropping there.
You know what? We don't have time to ask these questions. We can get in there and find out. But
we go. We unfuck ourselves.
Okay, this is difficult terrain. If you are walking over this, you have your half speed as normal. It's extra thick.
Oh god, so many models making the lag so much worse.
Right. And those are difficult terrain with all the statues about. Okay. So, you revert back in your forms. Are you up the trees? Are you down the trees? Where are you reverting?
I'm on the floor, because being up a tree sounds like
a floor behind the trunk, away.
Yeah, likewise.
Specifically hiding from those fuckers, but yeah.
Okay, so one at a time. Elsyan, you're hiding behind a tree, so I'll assume here.
I'm hiding in the brush. I'm hiding in the brush in the tree, effectively.
Okay.
Sort of trying to use this other smaller tree in front of me as a bit of cover as well.
Okay. Next on the list, Infernal, where would you like to be?
Can I hide here as well, or no?
Yeah, you can. It's a big tree, so you can. If you're hiding on the ground or up it?
I'm under the ground.
On the ground, okay. Guess this just in case I need it. Queglod.
Yeah, same deal, hiding behind this tree on the ground.
Okay. Rook.
Same. Tree, ground.
Okay. Harlan?
On the ground, behind the tree.
Just move you into a whole tile. And I will say Malcom, Arachne, and B do the exact same thing. So, at this moment, I would like you all to make stealth checks as you revert from being clouds to people. Disadvantage for those wearing heavy armor, as normal stuff. No pass without a trace, because there was no chance to cast it.
Oh, I think I was possibly the loudest I could have been.
Ooh,
I
I
got
was pretty loud myself, boy.
Malcolm's good.
Elsyan ain't going in the stealthy.
He's okay, and Rack, not bad.
Yeah.
And if you look over me,
Wait,
it's
I
definitely the
don't
nat
care,
20.
Harlan, do you
It's
need me to roll
definitely the
for
nat
you?
20.
Oh, right. No, I'm in. I'm just laggy. Let me
Slowly make
let me
your
get
way.
over that.
Okay.
Disadvantage, right?
Disadvantage
Yep.
because of heavy armor. Yep.
Definitely the 20.
Hey.
I
Okay.
think we're being
So,
My combined score is 11. So 11, yeah.
so Rook, as you revert, being one of the first ones to revert, you revert and you drop a short distance. As you didn't realise that you had to actually be touching the ground when you reverted, not to just morph into it, and you push, kind of land on the dirt, the slightly cracked exterior with a light layer of stone and dirt in the area. You unsettle it a bit, and you watch as the 4 creatures immediately look in your general direction.
Hi.
Actually, no,
And
they
then-
don't. No, they don't. Only this one does. The others kind of begin to speak to one another.
Oh, nice.
At which point, Sasha, you revert, and you immediately revert, but you're too high in the air. At that moment, you panic, you grab the tree, and it snaps. With
The
your
whole
sheer
tree
weight,
snaps?
being a small tree, being a very small tree, and probably a sapling, given Sasha's weight, strength, and otherwise falling momentum, the tree
Yeah, you're flat.
snaps as you hit the ground with a clank, the tree falling over to one side. Immediately, these two take more of a note in that than Rook. The rest of you otherwise remain mostly stealthy. Before Elsyan, you do the same, but when you fall, you grab a branch as to not hit the ground to make too much of a mess and softly drop down, but instead your branch snaps, but you land on the ground making less of a noise than Sasha and Rook in plate armor, but enough to warrant the attention of the green gorilla guy. This little group over
Okay.
here, pretty stealthy.
I'll make it
A giant spider
7.
appearing does note their attention, but it's otherwise everything else. Bern,
3.
you too fall and grab a branch as it snaps, hitting the ground. And Queglod.
21,
Okay.
though.
Being small has its
Okay,
advantages,
okay.
as you anticipated that you might need to be slightly closer to the ground as you are smaller. And as a result, you do not fall as far, thus meaning that when you hit the ground, you make no noise at all. At this moment, would you guys like to enter combat? The creatures know you are here, or they know a number of you are here.
I would like to already do a sonic blast and not give a fuck.
Okay, in
I
which
would
case,
like to
I
enter
will say...
diplomacy with them.
In which case, I will say we will roll initiative as we have a psychic blast and a diplomatic shout.
Will we start with psychic blast, please?
We're
Can I-
citing
can-
with an initiative roll.
But
Can-
before we
can-
start,
no,
can I just do my bit?
20.
It would be part of your action on your turn, as the intent is to cause combat, so it will be the start of initiative.
All right, fine. No bits for me then, I suppose.
Right.
18. You know, a bad roll for once. Guys, I didn't roll shit on my
I
initiative
got
for
an
once.
initiative of
Nice.
12.
We need to wait for Chris to call it, obviously, guys. Come on.
Alright,
We'll
so...
just shout around our initiative.
That's fine. Alright, 25 to 20.
20.
18.
18 does not fall in 25 to 20, but I appreciate your enthusiasm.
That is a good point, but I didn't expect
what was yours, Bern?
I just had 20.
Bern was 20. 20 to 15.
24.
18.
Oh, 24.
18.
18 on Elsyan. Sasha?
12!
12! Alright, and now to roll...
Honestly, that's a great roll for me.
Malcolm,
So I'll take it.
that is a 17, I think. If not, it's a... Is it an 18 or a 17? It's a 17, okay. Arach... Oh, I don't roll for his companions. I only roll for him. Aha.
Queglod,
Alright.
what's your dexterity?
15.
Mine's 16, so...
Yeah.
Yeah, or you can alternatively, because you go at the same time, you can let who goes first. That's up to you.
Fair enough. We
I
can
honestly
start it
don't
on our
mind.
turn.
Yep. Yeah, I'm fine with that just because it means you got a little bit more of a initiative favorability. On the rare event that you managed to successfully both roll the same. If it were an enemy on the other hand, I would do the dex thing. So,
Yeah.
At the top of initiative, Bern, you land, you make a fair amount of noise, you watch as they note your appearance. They know you're here, at least for those of you who failed. Most of you did, in some regard or another. So, I believe, Queglod, you are the only one actually hidden besides Malcom.
Useful. Okay.
So,
I mean,
Bern.
By the way, mention 13
What would you like to do, Bern?
I'm counting.
Bing.
65 to where it is at the moment.
Yeah. Okay.
Mm.
This is 60. I will.
Da-dee-dum. Da-dee.
You will.
Sorry, I got a message. I will.
You got a message from who? From Sasha.
Yes. She said, "Go ham."
I don't think they noticed us.
I think we're good.
You're morons.
Okay.
As am I.
These aren't classed as undead, I assume.
No.
Probably. So,
From your understanding,
Really
they're
like
fiends of some nature.
yeah.
I have
In that case, I
very
shall
devil.
siblings this guy.
So, aiming at that guy, you, as you kind of draw your weapon to you, you immediately summon two saw blades and you have them fly towards the large bird creature in the back as the two saw blades come in from each angle and begin to carve across. Go ahead and roll me your attack rolls, please. Advantage because they have pack tactics, I believe. Yep. Okay.
That's a plus 11, so 24.
Hits. And the next attack plus 11 is 20. That
20.
hits. Okay.
That does 3d4 plus
6 on each. Okay. Total of 26 plus what?
plus 12.
Plus 12. 38 points of damage to that one. As you summon the two saw blades, the two of them flying towards it, you watch as they carve across the torso and immediately dig and embed themselves in and carve up the creature. You immediately watch as it kind of pulls its head back before you, as you hear it shout in Abyssal, if any of you understand it.
Malcom should, doesn't it?
I think Malcom is Infernal rather than Abyssal. Should be anyway.
I know Abyssal.
You know
What?
Abyssal?
No.
Yeah.
He knows Abyssal.
Deep speech, I know.
You hear it shout intruders.
I assume they already knew.
Yeah, but they didn't know if you were going to attack or not.
Oh yeah, I just sit here and watch them.
Look, they don't know.
We're
Okay.
from the Demonic Oversight Guild. How would you say your working conditions are?
Just so they figure out their
I'm
devils.
being paid fairly.
Do you
Okay.
get dental?
Are you being given the right number of uniforms for work?
Are you being given 3 weeks of paid
Please show me to
vacation?
your manager. I have a lot of questions to
All
ask.
right. So you summon the. So you do.
What was your last break?
Okay. You do that. Your siblings return back to you as the as it takes damage, kind of pulling itself back, otherwise bleeding. It reaches down and kind of pats its hand away.
And I'll give a pat on the back on
Who else?
Elsyan. Give him
Heartbeat. Okay. Heartbeat lasts a round, so. Let's keep it.
Give them a thumbs up. I'm ready, bitches.
It's a round of temporary hit points, which is pretty nice.
That's
How-
6
how many?
plus your con mod. What's your con mod?
6 plus my con, so 7.
So 7
that-
temporary
that-
hit points. This will last for the next round, effectively.
Yeah. Until it's my turn again. Yeah.
Okay.
I'm okay with that.
End of your turn, Bern. You can move if you wish. Rook, it is your turn. Nom, 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 nom.
Alright, so it's just brought dinner. Right. Well, there's no way I'm gonna get to these guys in one turn.
They're statues. You can try charge through them if you wish. You'll clear away.
I wouldn't.
Yeah, true.
Yeah,
Can I
Jump
Come on,
over them.
throw this.
hard.
Can I just like move here and throw the statues? Throw
roll
it.
me- Okay, so this will be one of your attacks to grapple it, another attack to throw it, and then that will be so it will take two attacks of your attack action to do so.
Okay.
So
So
go ahead and roll me an unmodified strength check.
okay.
Why on mortar?
So
Oh.
12 plus your strength mod, which I believe is a +4, making that 16. You grab the statue, and as you attempt to lift it, it's heavy. Statues are pretty big, but you're a Minotaur.
Ugh.
As you lift it up, you can make the attack roll, but it will be with disadvantage. Which one would you like to lift up, by the way?
The one in front of me. Yeah, yeah.
Do they count as a great weapon, do you think?
They're pretty big.
They're pretty big. However, unfortunately, the Great Weapon Master does specify that it needs to be a melee attack. So,
Okay.
because you can't throw
That's
typically
that's disadvantage.
disadvantage.
Nine.
And this will be a 9 plus your strength because you do not have proficiency with with improvised weapons.
No. So that's 9 plus that. So that's
13. You throw, you pick up the statue and you lob it at one of the gorillas. As it arcs through the air towards it, you watch as it simply just grabs it with its hand and smashes it down next to it, turning it to dust. As it looks at you and just lets out a hearty, begins smashing its fists on the ground.
Okay. So I have one more attack.
You have one more attack, yes.
And my bonus action.
And you spent 5 feet of movement, I think, or 10 feet.
Okay. Alright, I'm gonna take a potion of growth, I'm gonna roar back, and I'm gonna smash another one of the statues with my axe.
Okay. In that
Screw
moment,
you.
as you reply back with a similar roar, kind of a hearty moo, you drink back the potion of growth, doubling inside the size, the tree next to you being pushed slightly. As you take your axe and you carve into one of the statues. Which one would you like?
This one here.
That one? Yes, that one is cut through.
I will
Okay.
make a path.
These statues are gonna kill us, I'm sure of it.
No! That's why I don't want to stand amongst them all. I'm a bit like, I don't know about these.
Okay.
Because I want to kill them!
Elsyan and Queglod. Elsyan and Queglod, it's your turn.
Do you want me to go first, Queglod?
Yeah, you'll go
Do you want to move
first.
forward, Jamie?
And then I'll.
Yeah, sorry.
Okay.
I've got to move up.
Oh no.
No, because what I want to do requires being moved up properly.
Okay.
I'm taking cover behind the statues.
So laugh if it turns round now.
If it does, it is getting mentally blasted to Kingdom Come. I don't care what
It's a
happens.
statue. Does it have a brain?
Don't ask those questions, because that's something that means I'm just completely useless in a combat. And you need me, and I don't like that fact.
I will
by
say
the way-
this, moving within 30-foot range of the statue. With your mental understanding, each of these statues has a minor bead of magic within it, which can be targeted with psychic damage.
Perfect.
The nature of them means that you realize these statues aren't petrified, they're creatures.
We should have. Why did you cut it in half, Rook?
From where I am, I'm going to cast Oh, fuck it. 7 side points. The two of us, I was never going to do anything else. On one here, one here. Let's go, boys.
Is that Psychic Assault with the big bada booms?
Psychic Assault with big bada booms.
Okay, so I will start with Green Flying Boy. Flying ones have magic resistance. Hooray! That's still a 13. And,
Gotta beat an 18.
And okay, this is gonna be hard then. And the other one fails on 16. So both of them fail. Gorilla Man's. Gorilla Man.
That could be a bit smarter.
Oh wow! Unfortunately, that was a good roll, but you have a -2, so that's a 16. and the red one, as it stands there, you psychic assault it, as it rolls a total of -6 with a natural 1.
Oh, I am a god to these people.
Go ahead and roll your psychic damage, bruh.
I want that guy to just like have the, just like he just collapses for the world's
78, I
worst
believe.
headache.
Okay, what's gonna happen here?
And if you've ever had a migraine, Chris, you know how shitty they can be.
Alright, what we got here?
A pretty shitty migraine, 33 damage.
33, okay. Oh man. Okay, this is fun. You watch, as you immediately throw out that psychic blast, all of them kind of grab their head, the gorilla ones kind of burying their hands closest to their ears, kind of holding them closed, as a screech begins to shake them. You watch as this red flying one up top is severely injured by that, as it is now very bloodied, and the two gorillas below take the hefty blow, but they are looking weak. They aren't quite bloodied yet, but they take the hits, but it hurt them a lot. At which point,
Don't seem to have too much HP.
at which point, gorillas are going to enter into a responsive rage. Not responsible rage,
Oh, no.
a responsive rage. They are now raging.
Well, I mean, I think in this situation, it's a very responsible rage. They are about to be murdered. What could be more responsible?
Yep. Okay.
Next turn, I'm using Psychic Inquisition on just one of them to murder them. Good.
Oh no, these things can rage. Jesus.
Alright.
Yes.
Okay, so
Ugh.
what is Elsyan, is that your turn?
That, apart from Elsyan just sort of smiling to himself, proud of his work. Yes, that is my turn.
Okay, Queglod, what would you like to do?
Okay, I want to save a lot of my big stuff for the Prince of Blood. However, I would like to get one little bit of setup done, so I'm going to cast Hex on this gorilla, I think.
Okay. Is that an action or a bonus action? I always forget.
Hex is a bonus
Okay, you hex that guy.
action.
You kind of draw your hand forward. The ravens begin to slowly swirl around him as they go up his arms as he begins to kind of pat them away, shake them off, thinking it's some additional effect from the psionics before he looks around kind of and grumbles in Abyssal, like, "Why have you guys got these?" He begins to pat one, try and knock them away.
Gets disadvantage on an ability check. I guess I'll go strength.
Yeah, he can't do any heavy lifting anytime soon.
Yeah, well, I mean, if he's raging, then all it really does is counteract that. But
Fair enough.
I mean,
Yeah, fair enough.
yeah, and then I'm gonna Eldritch Blast him with my action.
Okay, now you are hidden, currently.
Yeah.
And you did cast a spell, so I'm going to have each of them roll a perception check to see if they notice you, otherwise there is a lot of them, so it could have been anything. So, the one you are targeting, nope. The other guy next to him, that's cocked, yep, he sees you, and the one of the green flying one sees you, and the red gorilla one sees you. After you make these attack rolls, they'll all see you.
Okay, that's fair.
Okay, so you have advantage on these because of unseen attacker.
Ooh, I'll have to roll one at a time because I have 60.
I can spawn more if you want.
Nah, there's no point. Right, attack number 1.
Isn't it a D6 for Hex, not D4?
It is a D6 for Hex, yes.
Yeah, that's fine. I'll reroll. Just because different die type. Alright. So, that first one, it's doing 8 plus 5.
Yep, so
Okay.
13 damage.
13 points of damage to that one. As it hits the surface of his skin, you watch as a portion of the fluff and fur begins to break as it is forced away, the skin breaking open, revealing a muscle inside, as it is otherwise very badly hurt by that.
Yes.
Oh, buddy.
That's a combination of force and nick, by the way.
Yeah.
If that matters.
Yep, that's part of it, as the muscle is burst open and
Yeah,
otherwise.
so I was thinking.
Yeah.
Okay, attack number 2. Is that also? Yeah, I mean,
Yeah,
I guess
it's a
they're
single
simultaneous,
action
'cause, yeah,
3 shots, so it will be the same.
Yeah. Need to move these apart a little. Yeah.
So that's another hit, doing 7 plus 5, 12 points of damage.
12 damage there.
You see as the other one goes in, it hits his torso, and you see as it buckles backwards, the fur begins to fall away, and a portion of what looks to be almost a perfectly carved hole is taken out of his torso. As you can see the exposed muscle as it begins to drip away, as a black plasma begins to drip away from him.
Okay.
And the final attack.
Better is
Your attack, come on.
Okay, that hits. You watch as this one guides towards him. He attempts to block it, raising both of his arms to block it as it goes through both of the palms of his hands into his head, and otherwise he falls backwards, straight up dead.
Awesome.
Is moving the hex free, or is that a bonus action?
It is a bonus action to move the hex, but so long as he's concentrating on it, Queglod can move it.
Yes.
Of which you need one of those. There you go.
Yeah, so starting next turn, I can move it.
Okay.
Okay. I've nowhere really interesting to move to, except I'm just going to shift a little bit away from this tree. They know where I am anyway, and I don't want us all to be too grouped up,
Okay.
just in case they try something.
End of
And
your
that will end my turn.
End of your turn. It is the Bulgara's turn, which are the gorillas. Okay.
Oh shit! I vaguely remember those.
On your turn,
Yeah, me too.
this one is going to move 5, 10, 15, and it is going to do a running leap slam at you, Rook.
Of course it is.
As it rushes towards you, it leaps over the statues, both of its fists raised up. It makes 2 attacks. Oh no. It makes 2 attacks against you with its fists and 1 with its bite. As a portion to the running leap, you will also potentially be knocked down. It is going to reckless attack you, so it has advantage on each of these attack rolls.
Right,
Okay.
okay.
That first one is a 21 to hit.
No, oh, yeah.
Yep, that one hits. The next one is a 10 to hit. Nope.
No.
And then as it
Almost,
is,
but not quite.
and as it is otherwise at this point trying to pin you to the ground, it's going to make its bite attack. Again, has advantage because of reckless. That hits with a 23 to hit.
Right. Excellent.
Okay. That is 2 attacks. I will roll the damage. Go ahead and roll me a.
3 ain't a bad.
Go ahead and roll me
it's
a strength saving throw, please, as it is attempting to pin you to the ground as one of its
Okay.
attacks. With athletics.
Fuck me. That's 16.
16. So attacker wins.
Damn.
In that moment, you are otherwise pinned to the ground as he lands on top of you, just punching you down. As you hit the ground, he bites into your back. You take, from the punches, you take a grand total of... Nope, that's the bite. Whoops, wrong dice. So from the punch, you take a total of 8 bludgeoning damage. These are magical.
5? Are they? Oh, Jesus. That's
Yep.
good to know.
These ones are. And the bite, which isn't magical, is 8
Oh.
points of piercing damage, which is reduced down to 5.
Okay.
You notice as it lands the punch, there seems to be metal bands wrapped around them, and as it lands a heavy punch against you, you watch as they slightly glow. As it hits, the attack lands, and you feel a little bit of pain, but not too much. You're otherwise pinned to the ground. At the same initiative, it is Malcolm's go. Malcolm is going to order Arachne to otherwise head round and cause a little bit of a distraction. B is going to fly over and is going to perform a tail attack in an attempt to knock it to incapacitate it for a round. This is a attack roll, recharge 6 plus 7 to hit. That hits. Recharge is con save versus the Bulgar's con. Oh, that fails. Uh-oh. Okay. That Bulgar is stunned.
The one on top of me?
Well, no, it's incapacitated, so it won't be able to perform any actions until the beginning of B's next turn. And it otherwise takes 5d8 plus 3 damage, 2 1s, a 6 and a 4, and another 1. So that is a total of 16 damage, which is half. Raging. Okay. Arachne moves round. Malcom is going to move up. What spells does Malcom know? I don't know, because he doesn't update his overlay sheet, so I have to look through his character. He has Scrying. He has no 5th and 6th level spell slots. He only has 4th. He's going to use... I have no idea. He's going to use Call Lightning. Because that's something he uses. Alright. Summoning lightning in the air, he is going to target a point of his choice. He is going to target the bird guy in the back who is otherwise injured, as to not hurt Rook. That is a... Cool Lightning is a Dex save versus his DC, which is 20. Oof. Yeah, that's a fail. That was a natural 2, that's not happening. Oh, it has magic resistance! Boy! That's a 4! Nope.
Nope.
It is,
Think
however...
not.
It is, however, resistant to lightning naturally, which is good. That's 3d10 damage on the... 3d10 damage on the 3rd level. Cool Lightning. Doing... total of 14 damage, half to 7. Now you know. That was the red one. That one's 100, so it goes down to that. As the lightning bolt is called down, Malcom pulling his hand down, the strike hits it. You watch as the feathers begin to furl and blacken, even more than they currently are. But you watch as small, almost pocks begin to float off and burn up in the lightning. Okay, that is going to be the end of Malcolm's turn. Sasha!
Yar! My thing's going to be, I might as well come over here. Is it possible?
You can be under the tree. You can be in that tile.
Okay, because I'm thinking B could fly around above the statues and get advantage, but I can't go over the difficult terrain and actually move. So, where 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I could make it to this one here.
Do you have 35 movement?
No, I do not. I forgot
Actually,
how difficult
5,
the terrain
10,
works.
15, 20, 25, 30, 35. Yeah, you'd need 35 to get there.
Yeah, that does not work for me.
Why not?
Okay. I'm going to
You can
use.
stand here. Can you just 10, 15?
5, 10,
Alright,
15,
so-
20, 25, 30, 35.
See, he doesn't need to go this way. He can just go here.
Yeah, that's nice and all, but then he can't move diagonally through an enemy space.
Okay, well, enough of that, boys. I'm going to just be casting Sacred Flame on this here motherfucker.
Wisdom save?
Dexterity, actually.
Oh! Dexterity? That's 7.
Surprisingly enough, Chris, that does not save it.
Shame. Alright, go ahead. Roll your damage.
3d8 radiant damage.
Oh, yay. High level cantrips!
Radiant does anything to them.
Yes. It's not, they don't resist it, it's fine. Doing 17 damage.
Nice.
17 points of damage.
He is
Nice.
looking hurt.
And I'm summoning a spiritual weapon with my bonus action.
Oh, those little smacks.
And you know I'm summoning it in like right here, just on the off chance that gives it advantage. Oh wait, no, I already have advantage. It used a reckless attack, didn't it?
Oh yes, that is true. So, either way, go ahead and roll with advantage. I forgot that I had advantage. Be hit anyway with the high rolls. Would it have been a 20? And the spiritual weapon does 6. Is it plus anything or is it just 6?
6 plus my spell mod, so 6 plus 5? Yeah.
Okay, 6 plus 5. You watch as the spiritual weapon of the large Smashfist hammer comes down in unison with the sacred flame. As you flick it towards it, it burns a little portion of the torso, the hair and fur beginning to catch fire, also known as hair. As it begins to catch fire and flick up its body, the large hammer comes in and smacks into the back of its head. In that moment, Sasha, you watch as this thing, as it's slumped over, unconscious otherwise from the tail attack, you watch as the hammer digs partly into the skull, and you watch as its tongue just falls forward, dead and otherwise on top of Rook.
Oh, for God's
as it
sake.
begins to spill out black ooze from the top of its head.
Okay, it's better that it's dead and on top of you than it's alive and on top of you, okay?
It is true.
Okay. End of Sasha's turn.
Mm-hmm.
The flying one in the back, who is otherwise injured, is immediately going to bring his hand up and press it against the top of its head. There's nothing that seems to happen immediately. And then it is going to fly upwards, getting some distance from the ground. Fly up. I'm just going to get 4 of them, and I am going to say that that is 80 feet. Just change that to 20, as it's going to fly up 80 feet and stand on top of there. This one, on the other hand, is going to fly over like so. It's going to position itself right in the middle there. It's going to be 20 feet up. And it is going, and you watch as immediately its form begins to shimmer and shake as you watch as its wings flap. You watch as these tiny green balls, fluffy balls, seem to just float down. And as you get a look, it releases a cloud of spores around it. I would like everybody, with the exception of Malcom, to make me a Constitution saving throw against poison, please.
Ahaha! Dwarf poison.
Yep, so you have advantage.
This is my jam. This is my jam.
B fails on a natural 1.
Oh, let's see.
Oh, for fuck's sake. Oh, no. Lucky.
Lucky!
21.
We're members!
I rolled a
I'm an
4.
amazing improvement.
Yeah, it's better than a 1.
16.
So, add that to the tally. I think that's 3 now.
That's 3 now, yeah. So,
9.
16 on Elsyan, Sasha?
Elsyan.
9 altogether.
9.
But I do
Rook?
take half damage from whatever it ends up being.
Hey,
so-
Sasha. Elsyan is better at
This is a con
Constitution than
save,
you.
yes.
Right, listen here, you fuck.
Bern, yes, it was a con save.
My issue is that clearly I had my mouth open
Harlan.
from yelling, "I've murdered this one!" And then I just
Harlan.
get a face full of.
Bern, what was your total? Oh, go away, Avast, I don't want premium service. Just popped up a little bit.
Hey, money, Chris.
No! Alright, what was it, sorry, Bern?
28.
I didn't catch that. That was really muffled.
28!
Alright, good.
Did you catch that?
Alright, Rook,
Yes. Move closer to your mic.
I got 21.
21. Okay. So, Bern and Rook, you both succeed. As
Oh,
the,
fuck.
oh no, and Elsyan, sorry, you succeed. Sorry.
Yeah!
Sorry, I was looking at the radius, not the DC. DC is 14.
Yeah, I'm assuming a 15 fails.
Okay, Chris, I
Wait,
swear to God,
You
if
got a
Chris-
15?
I have +8 to con. So
Oh, okay, never mind. So, Sasha, as you shout out, I killed it! You inhale a bunch of spores. Okay, you immediately take 5 points of poison, half to 2, because you're a dwarf.
Oh, that is disgusting. Ugh. Ah.
And that's it. That's its turn. That was... Really just... Oh
Like,
yeah,
unless
and you
Chris,
also
I
and
should
you,
roll-
you also become poisoned as well, which means disadvantage on attack rolls and ability checks.
Alright, I'm fine with that.
Poisoned?
Dwarves can, they just have advantage on save.
Yeah.
Why they're so good at drinking.
Why the alcohol is so strong, more like.
End of its turn. Bern.
Now, just check. This guy's 155 feet away from me.
He is from that distance. He is 70 feet away from you and 80 feet up. That does not mean if you want to do the trigonometry, that's fine. But I'm not going to get you to do that. So I'm just going to say he's 70 feet away from you. He's 80 feet away from you, as that is the greatest distance out of the two lines.
Okay, right,
So he's 80 feet away.
He's 80 feet away, because doing trig, as fun as it is, and as much as this game is about maths, I don't want to add any more. So I just count the largest range out of the two of them.
There you
Alright, the two of them attack him. Go ahead and make the attack rolls, please. You have disadvantage as he... So this will be a regular roll, so one each. So just take both. Because he dodged.
Why is there disadvantage?
Because he dodged. He took the dodge action.
Oh, you dodged the action. Okay.
So that would be a natural 1 and a 12. Are you keeping the natural 1? Yep, okay. Go ahead and roll the damage for 1 then, please. Okay, 11 plus 6, doing 17 points of damage to him. As it cuts into his form, he is very badly injured, but otherwise still standing. As your two blades return, as your two saw blades return back to you, spinning through the air back towards you.
I'll go towards Queglod and yeah, your temporary hit points disappear on Elsyan. I'll give her a heart.
Okay.
Oh, I've lost my temporary hit point attack.
Yeah, it's basically just a mini shield. So Queglod, you get 7 plus your con mod, which is plus 3, so that is...
It's 10.
So you have 10 temporary hit points, Simon, if you're still there.
Next.
This will be for 1 round. Okay.
Let me note that down.
End of Bern's turn. Rook. You currently have a corpse on top of you.
Right. What would it take to get this corpse off of the top of me?
I will say you can either make a strength check, which will take your action, or you can just spend one of your attacks to shove it off.
I'll spend one of my attacks to shove it off.
Spend an attack, you kind of lop it off of you, it just falls over to one side as you kind of push it off. Spend half the movement getting up.
Excellent. Right. I am going to move here.
Okay. You will be tall enough that you can hit it.
Excellent. Now I'm going to take my last 2 attacks against it.
Okay, go ahead. I will say...
First one with Great Weapon Master.
I'll say given the height... Because you're, what, you'd be about 14 feet high and you'd have your weapon as well, and it's flying. So I'd say you can either jump and make the attack at disadvantage, or you can make the attacks as normal without being able to Great Weapon Master, given that you're taking difficult swings.
Okay, yeah, my height is 7'5",
So that would be doubled to 15 feet, and then with your axe, you'd be able to just about reach where it is, so...
Alright, I'll just take 2 hits without Great Weapon Master.
Okay,
Each
go
hit
ahead.
is a swing.
Yep. So 1 in swing each.
And 9 plus
What's
11.
this one's total?
That is 20.
Hits. Both of them
And
hit.
that is, yeah.
It's 29. Yeah, it's fine. Alright, go ahead and roll your damage, which is
The
2d12s.
And the D4s because I'm bigger.
And the d4s because you are big.
Because I'm a big boy.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay,
So that's
27 plus 6 each
plus
time.
6 and 6, yeah.
So that is
27
12, so that is 39 points of damage. I will just remove 40 and then give it a hit.
Excellent. Okay.
Alright,
Then
as you take your 2 swings, cutting into it, you carve into the lower portion of its body as it kind of screeches out, pulling away. Go ahead and make me 2 Constitution saving throws, please, against its poison spores.
Okay, each of these. First one's first, second.
Yep.
And these are plus 11.
Yeah, you're fine. As you swing, you see the poison spores coming out, and you just hold your breath, taking 2 heavy swings against it, carving across its underbelly. You watch as bits of kind of black goo begin to fall out and pull out of its body.
Okay. Is it still at 30 foot? What is it, 20 foot?
It's 20 foot up, yeah.
Okay. Right, I'm not. I can't use horn attack, can I?
No, unfortunately,
Be
not
too
from
high
this
up.
distance.
Right.
Yep.
Do no worry.
It is looking very injured.
Oh, good. You're lucky. You're too high up for me. Alright.
Rook gives a good grr taunt to it.
Gives it grr.
Okay. End of
He cuts
your
off his horn and throws it at him.
end of...
Just get to roll intimidation check for that girl.
Grr.
Go ahead then. It's immune to frightened, but go for it.
I mean, it doesn't necessarily
Go on.
put it frightened. It never
just-
puts anything
I-
at frightened.
You
It
say
just might deter.
you say grr. It currently seems, given that it's flying, it's not necessarily scared of you. And in that moment at initiative 20, as you're all paying attention to either this one or this one, these guys will all get to act.
Okay, I think I've got my job. Guys, I know what I'm doing. I am going to do to these what I did to that skeleton army.
Now, I'm
I
just
would like it
gonna-
known I have not attacked these stone people, and I am a dwarf.
They don't care. They care about living creatures.
The
These-
problem is,
That,
Sasha,
that
we
does
just
raise a question about Queglod, given her lack of technical life.
They're going to move like that. These
Especially given what we
ones-
discussed recently, yeah.
These ones are in your line of sight. And now in your line of sight, but that's fine. Malcolm's line of sight is currently based on there, so that's those ones covered. Brackets covered. Okay. These ones as well will also get to.
Oh, so if you can see them, they can't move. Oh,
Correct.
He's made weeping angels. Wonderful.
Okay. In that moment, I have 5 attacks against Sasha and 2 against Rook.
you mean 4 against her?
Oh yeah, 4. Sorry, these 2 are
yeah.
up there. They're down there, but I can't put them there at the moment.
Yeah.
Okay, so Sasha, I would like you to make me 5 Constitution saving throws, please, and Rook, I would like you to make me 4 Constitution saving throws.
My God.
Oh, I'm scared.
Alright.
Right. No, indulgable that one.
So, was I 5 or 4?
5.
Right. The lowest one I got.
I'll
21.
start off with 3 here.
Okay.
I got that. I
I'm
moved on
aware
one.
I'm rolling the next 2 as well.
You got a natural 1, and so what are these with? Plus what?
Plus 5.
Okay, this is versus DC 12. So how many fails total?
I think he failed 2.
2.
You failed
One of
2.
which was a nat 1, but you know, I don't think that matters really.
That does actually.
Oh motherfucker.
Okay. Sasha, you take a grand total of. You take. That is 12 points of force damage. And due to the natural 1, you are currently affected by flesh to stone. At the start of your turn, I will have you roll a con save. On a fail, you will begin to petrify.
I'm having a case of deja vu here.
Yeah, same.
I cast dispel. I'm joking.
I know.
You can. You just swing at Sasha with your axe.
Oh, I can, yeah, can't I?
Okay, end of initiative 20. Elsyan, it is your turn. You see these statues as they begin to move, and you watch as they get close, they begin to wrap themselves around Sasha and Rook. As this happens, in that moment when you see this occur, they wrap themselves around before you watch as they turn back into stone, otherwise remaining stationary, locked in place around them. Rook, succeeding all of his saves, is unaffected. Sasha, on the other hand, you watch as her skin begins to go a subtle shade of grey.
Well then.
Okay. So yeah, Elsyan, it's your turn. And Queglod, it's also your turn as well.
Okay then, right. Oh, do I try and clear some of these fuckers out? I think I have to clear some of these fuckers out, don't I? Well then. I don't like this, Chris.
As long as we're looking at them, they should be unharmed.
Currently, you've got 2 people trained on this large area here, so you should be fine.
Yeah.
Oh god, they're weeping angels.
Yes.
Oh,
Rook
I
literally
understand
said that.
now.
Yep.
Yeah, I said
I've
that.
been blanked out. I've had other messages
So
going on.
Arachne is also watching them.
It's also just now occurring to me that their job probably was to watch for the stone people. So if we just run in past them, they probably wouldn't have followed us.
Now, yeah.
Oh well.
We presumed they were
Well, never
petrified
mind.
that these things were doing it.
Yeah.
So,
Oh well.
which raises the question of why were people up in the first place charging these things? You know, it doesn't matter. I am going to, in fact. Oh god. You know what? Another 7 side points on Psychic Assault or Sonic Blast.
Okay.
Doesn't really matter. We use the names interchangeably anyway. So we're going to try to do one to get this guy, if I may.
Okay. So hitting this guy up here.
That completely misclicked.
That's fine. I understand where you're going. This one over here. Good enough.
It's because of the angle. Because technically, my
Yeah.
hand is there,
Yeah.
but
yeah.
the angle I'm looking at.
Yeah. No. I
Can,
understand.
can I hit the Prince of Blood over here?
Yes. No. So I'm going to do one here and one. Oh god. Yeah, I'm going to try. Gonna try to get this guy.
What does it cost you to do that unpetrification thing? Just asking for a friend.
5 side points.
What?
I
What?
believe, or 6.
What to do the It's 7.
7.
7 on mend wounds. And the original name for that spell, by the way.
Is 7 side points worth more than 100 GP of diamond dust?
Keep in mind, this is something that you actually no. I'm not going to correct you on any of this because you've never faced petrification before.
Come on. Okay, fine. But yeah, one on big guy up here, one on other big guy, effectively just to blow them out of the sky. They can worry about these bullshit things.
Advantage. That's a fail. Next guy, advantage. Also a fail. Well, that was 2 16s. That's pretty good.
No, that's pretty good.
They got
Two
minus
off.
1 still.
Oh god, so tell me they rolled 17s?
No, they rolled. Well, I thought your DC was 18.
My DC is 18.
Yeah, the first one rolled an 18 minus 1. It's still 17.
Oh, for the 16. I thought you said 17. Oh god, my brain's hurt. Right, okay, never mind. They're blasted. Let's do the damage.
Mind Blast, go. Distinctly a different spell, but oh well.
That Mind Blast is a talent, to be fair, because,
Yeah.
26.
26. Oh, okay. You watch as, in that immediate moment, you watch as this one at the back that is otherwise injured begins to fall out of the sky.
Split.
It is going to, and as it falls, you watch as it hits the ground from the headache, and you watch as its head cracks open, its body kind of slightly slumps and splits in two, its wings otherwise wrapped onto the ground. This one is sorely injured and is barely hanging on.
Run.
Okay.
It can't be frightened, but it should be.
What if we leave this one here, we go inside, so they chase him?
We've still got to get through these things, but that's not a bad shout, actually. It's injured enough that if it does become a problem, we can deal with it. I would say. I don't know for certain. Although I do have an ability that will kind of tell me.
So, Elsyan, if that's your turn, you still have your movement if you wish to do so, but otherwise, Queglod, what would you like to do?
I'm just going to back away.
Yeah, I reckon.
Trying to get more of a
hopefully
white.
got this. I'm probably going to focus on just clearing the group out in this case.
So they find they can't die.
Don't really want to cast Shatter, so I'll just go with Eldritch Blast.
On which ones?
This one, this one, this one.
What is your attack roll?
My attack roll is +9.
Okay, you have, with advantage because they are stationary objects, you would have to roll 2 natural 1s and then negate the lucky. So you would need to roll a 1 in. Let's see, that would be a 1 in 8,000 chance. These 3 are destroyed.
Okay.
Yeah, you'd need a 1 in 8,000 chance to hit them. Their AC's 10. Or AC's 9, sorry, because they're slow creatures.
Fair
So
enough.
it's not exactly hard to
Just in case it matters, I'm going to use my bonus action to move my hex onto this guy. Not that I'm actually planning to hit him at the moment,
Oh, no.
but he now has disadvantage on strength.
He's hexed. He begins to try and pat away the hex as he is otherwise panicking, but you watch as there seems to be a compulsion to stay despite the want to flee.
Can these things communicate with the Prince of Blood? Does anyone know?
No idea.
Probably.
The other guy put his hand on his head, so I think so.
Excellent. So he's aware. we're
They
here.
do have massive migraines right now, or did. They're dead now, but
It strikes me that these things were probably ordered to stay here.
Yeah, I think they were ordered to like watch these things so they don't go inside.
Which, does that mean the Prince of Blood couldn't just destroy them?
Maybe.
I reckon he's not as powerful as we've been beating up in our mind as. Because most of that
Alternatively,
fight
he's
was
so
too
powerful, he just doesn't care.
Yeah, thing is, he did 10. You did 10 points of damage to him previously. What if he just has 15 hit points?
Here's the
He
thing,
just had a
most of
leg,
that fight was 2 dogs and a close environment.
Yeah, true.
There were more than just dogs, but still.
All right. So, Queglod, if you have a movement action, if you wish to move, otherwise it would be the Bulgura's turn. It's dead.
I'm
so-
just gonna sidle off over here, making sure I've got line of sight on.
Malcom.
This sort of area.
Malcom is going to lightning strike here with his high DC and the fact that they're stationary statues. They're otherwise dead. As those ones are gone. And then he is going to proceed to back up behind Elsyan, because he's not here to tell me otherwise. Arachne is going to take a bite against this one. Unlikely chance to fail, and is going to remain
So
watching
he's still
this.
holding his line of sight just so they don't.
Yep, Arachne's watching this way, and he's going to watch this way.
Elsyan's trying to use this.
B is going to take a claw attack against this. B is actually going to fly up and is going to try and hit the bird thing. It's a natural 16, that hits. It's got 2 low hit points that it could possibly live. He does not get tail attack back, but that's fine, as it falls out of the sky and otherwise hits the ground with a thump similar to the previous one. Alright, and that is now your accurate situation. Hex fades, you no longer need to concentrate unless you wish to transfer it, and B is otherwise floating in the air.
Excellent.
But B seems to be getting ignored by these creatures. Seemingly because she's made out of paper.
Yeah. Now, should we have B and Arachne watch these guys while we go inside, or how is this
It
gonna?
might be an idea.
I don't see
can't-
Malcolm allowing them.
I
don't
will
think
say,
Malcolm isn't here right now.
from Malcolm's
I know.
perspective, Arachne doesn't want to fight the Prince of Blood,
Yeah. Okay.
and he knows this. Unfortunately, he missed the bit at the beginning when she was going to say that.
Because Arachne has 6 eyes.
And
Can't she
B
just go?
and B would be fine with waiting if it need be. So it can be Malcolm can just go in on his own, and then these two can watch this if you want to just go past.
Yeah,
I
sounds like a
think-
plan.
I think it sounds like a plan. It sounds like because obviously these guys are here for a reason, and if we destroy this place has 1 less defense in the future. And I'm sure there's other shit we need to be spending spell slots and what
Okay.
cycles on as we go
Oh,
through.
I got a phone call. I'll be right back.
Yeah, make sure Arachne and B know to back up into the cave if they need to.
Is combat over then?
Combat is otherwise over at the moment. Arachne and
Okay.
B will be watching that. You make your way over, keeping an eye on them. There are moments when they shift while you aren't looking for even the slightest of moments. But you
Did Harlan
otherwise.
save his petrification?
Hmm?
What's
Oh,
that
that's a
about?
good point. Sasha, please roll me a Constitution saving throw.
Can
for
I
your
cast a spell on it? with the
It
axe?
would be Sasha's turn before it gets to you.
Yeah,
So
fair
there's a chance
So-
it may break beforehand anyway.
Yeah. So Sasha, if you'd like to go ahead and roll me a Constitution saving throw, please.
Alright, fuck it.
Yeah, he's fine.
20. Easy enough. Versus the DC of 12 on the con save, you otherwise shrug off the petrification, the effect not taking hold as you break away from it, and the
Fuck off!
and you otherwise shrug the statues off of you, kind of knocking them down. As you and your party, slowly but surely, without doing any more smashing, reconvene into the cave. Given the timing of this, and Infernal had to go take a call real quick, we will take a quick break there. Will be no more than...
Actually, can we take like 5 to 10 minute break?
Yeah, we can do.
Okay.
That's fine. Alright, we will take a quick 5 to 10 minute break. I will leave the server up so people can actually see what's going on if anything happens, and they'll be able to hear what's going on while I deal with the next stuff that I need to handle.
Okay,
Alright.
now that we've done like the starter, it's time for the main course.
Guys, we're fine. Oh, Chris, you still there for a second?
Yes.
I would like to... Because my special 9 side points, they last until I...
Take a
use
short
them,
or long
correct?
rest before you use them.
Yeah. Okay, I would like to pop that now.
Oh, so you have those ready when you need them.
Yes.
And you don't have to use them straight away, you can use them when you want to.
I know.
Yeah.
I know, but the Prince of Blood will be getting a quick tester blast just to see how smart he is, and then getting the full 9.
Smart
Okay.
event.
Oh, Chris.
Yeah.
Lore was a minute.
Law was a minute?
Yeah, the invoke.
Yes. Yeah, it's based on the duration of spectral or spiritual weapon.
Alright, I'm gonna put you back.
I'm going to quickly be right back as well, and then we will continue from there.
Likewise.
Alright, 12
Oh.
o'clock.
Now, Harlan, the party, you guys have almost broken me for me to buy Minecraft again. Harlan's not here, so never mind. This is sad.
Yeah, I mean, for as much as that's like good news on its own, it's also a proof of concept of just bullying people into joining
I mean, I
to
am
their
very
own financial
susceptible-
detriment if necessary.
I am very susceptible to peer pressure. I make no point about that. That's why I avoided having friends. That's a lie. People avoided having me as a friend. I kid. Kind of. Well, I could have killed my party with those 18 yuan too. If I'd used them properly, I could have done it. Used the constriction to stop them from moving about. Kept them separated. Just ganked them all. Okay, I think I've had too much rum and coke. That's my 3rd today. Fucking hell.
Right, I'm back.
Yeah, that's a question.
Is it me? It's a me, Mario. Alrighty. So we're waiting for Infernal to get back, and Jamie, are you back yet? I think that is a no.
Just
Next, I'm gonna open up this chocolate bar.
what kind of chocolate bar, Chris?
Dime.
Fun?
Dime.
Dime. Oh, a dime bar. Ooh.
Yeah. They're on offer at the moment. For £1. And me, likey. Ah.
Oh god.
Alrighty. Hopefully they get back soon.
They will not.
Might.
I'll be 1 minute, and I'll be right back.
Oh no, lost the stone.
I've decided that I've had 3 rum and cokes today, and that's too many. Well, it's not, but it will be fine.
It's however much you can handle while still being a sane human being.
Well, true. I'll be fine. As long as they're not going into any life-threatening fights today. Oh, fuck.
Don't worry, drunk Elsyan will be fine.
I mean, drunk Elsyan will be fine. Now, here's the thing: does my Psionics get more potent as I start losing control, or does it become less potent as I get stupider, or does it perfectly balance out as those two things mix?
I think it would be they perfectly mix. It might be that they're more effective. When you get drunker, they become more effective versus dumb people, and less effective versus smart people. And as you begin to release it, you get better versus stronger people, but versus dumb people, it's the same.
Yeah.
But again, there's not really anything for releasing your psionic potential, other than the awakened psi points.
There is one moment where I want Elsyan to just effectively walk into a room, have a seizure in it, and kill everyone. Have you seen Logan, Chris?
No, I haven't.
Okay. I forget I get very sweary when I'm drunk. I'm sweary normally. Well then, as what was it? Yeah, in Logan, Professor X, he's effectively the most powerful telekinetic and telepath in the world, and he's got Alzheimer's. So of course his brain is effectively dying or degenerating. So of course he sometimes has seizures, which then cause mass psychic disruption everywhere, to the point where most people are psychically paralyzed. It's great fun. It's a really light-hearted movie, is Logan.
Yeah. Yeah, Professor X's mind fuck-ups killed the X-Men.
See, here's the thing.
It's such a lovely
I'm just talking to Chris that if a seizure happens to Elsyan, would a very similar thing happen?
I would like it known that the only reason his control of his power was slipping so much was because of the fact that every single bit of food and water, pretty much in America, was infected with the anti-mutant drug.
Oh, yeah. But still, it happened.
Oh, yeah, it's still super fucked up. Yeah. Same goes for Logan's healing factor. It's like literally Logan is canonically immortal unless his healing factor gets fucked with. Like
or he gets hit by a weapon specifically made out of material that negates healing factors. But it's called kyanite.
We do not talk about carbonadium.
Carbonadium, that's the one. But what about that time where he drowned in that?
Shut up.
Okay, he drowned in adamantium. Remember that one time he died?
Yeah, but then he came back again after.
It's comic books. Everyone comes back, Harlan. Apart from Bruce Wayne's parents and Uncle Ben. We know this.
I
and
think
even then, they sometimes
he was alive under there. He was just completely immobilized because, he was.
Although I do have to say, I do like Deadpool's idea of dealing with those with massive healing factors, and that's chaining them up and setting them on fire with flamethrowers.
Yeah, it does work. Even if it doesn't kill them, it fucking does. It gets close.
And he did decipher that Wolverine's main superpower is not healing factor; it's being popular.
Yeah, kind of.
Very true.
Right. I'm just waiting on a cup of tea to finish brewing, so I'll be back in just a second.
That's fine. We're still waiting for Infernal to get back, and Jamie to say
Cool.
hi again as well.
Hi again as
There we go.
well.
Alright, so now it's just Infernal.
Hopefully he won't take too long.
Don't you mean Doctor Infernal?
Yes, Dr. Infernal.
I hate that he's put Doctor in front of it.
Oh no, I was the one who
I
did
hate
that.
Infernal. I hate Doctor. I hate everything about it. but it's his name. He's allowed to be called when he wants.
I was the one who called him that, so actually he didn't get to choose.
Chris. You're a cunt.
Ooh, savage word.
Like I've on my third rum and coke. What? Yeah. I'm close. I'm here. What?
It makes me feel uncomfortable.
Hello there. Welcome to Sam's ASMR.
Jesus.
It's an affliction you've suffered with for years, Chris, isn't it?
Memeage. Yes.
Why do you offend me like this, Chris?
No, I'm not.
I feel attacked. But
Now,
that's
Sam,
because...
click on this
Yeah?
and play it with sound. It's so much funnier.
Original. Okay. Taking its sweet time opening. Yep. As I want to go there. I can fucking give me a second. It's taking a time.
I'm planning to use that for Vulcan when we find something very dangerous in Curse of Strahd.
If you pick up one of Strahd's books, start reading it, Vulcan will go over. Romulan, have you been reading
Heresy
Heresy?
again.
Unacceptable. just pulls off a bead from the fireball necklace.
Hold on.
My rage does nothing against piety.
Unacceptable.
You're playing that through.
Crabbot. Yeah, the stream heard it as well. Greatest meme.
Sorry. Heresy again. Unacceptable. I do love Crusader memes and the like.
Yeah.
Until it gets a bit incelly, and then it's Deus fault.
Alright.
Actually, I used that one you talking mad shit for something crusading distance one on the paladin today.
Oh. I'm glad I see you're using the memes that I'm distributing as weapons against
Oh
your
yeah,
players.
you distribute memes to me. I find ways to dish them back out again, if of course they are useful.
Of course, there are certain ones which are useful. Hold on, I'm gonna...
And then there are some that are genuine personal attacks.
There we go, just do that. Go.
You got your
Yep.
Seems about right. Hopefully Harlan will be here soon.
I'm sorry that we're still going and that everybody's so slow.
I know Infernal was saying he was wasn't feeling particularly well, which is why I think he wanted to head off.
Do you think he's committing acts of Nurgle, Chris?
Yes.
Okay then.
Oh, it's just sound.
Blessed be the Plague Father, and hope everything goes well.
Jack has learned kind to
Oh
be
god,
kind.
let's... You know how for there's effectively a kill team, well not a kill team, a Necromunda equivalent for Age of Sigmar, Chris.
Mm-hmm.
There's a Nurgle warband in that. That is utterly horrifying. If I can find it, I will share with just you, because it is of course horrifying.
Do send me the Nurglings, for they do burn.
They're not
aggressively.
Nurglings, because this is a sort of a team of 3. This is for Beastgrave.
It's a bigger nurgling.
Nope. Well,
Known as a chaos sport. That's how that works. I know it's not.
no. Right, I've sent you the link.
Right, let's see.
You're going to want to go to the third person on the spinning rotation. Then just look at the back of it.
Third person.
This is the one with the spear and the plume
Oh,
helmet.
the one with the spear and the plume helmet. Alright.
And look at the back of it. Looks normal from the front. Look at the back. Does that make you want to throw up? Because it makes me want to throw up.
It's just an extended butthole. You can even see the little bit of drip coming out the bottom of it.
Okay, right. This is rough.
I'm back.
Welcome back.
But it's
And
true,
that
though.
is Infernal.
That is Infernal. Now, Harlan, are you back yet?
Has anything happened, or are we still waiting?
No, we're still
we're still
waiting because
waiting.
we were waiting for you, and Simon was
Just
also
going to say something as a test.
doing.
And you rotate it here. You can't rotate this. That's a shame. And you
No,
can't
I
get a good
can't.
picture back. That's a shame.
Right, so we're just waiting for Harlan. So hopefully he shouldn't be too long. He said he was waiting for a tea to brew. That was about 5 minutes ago. Shouldn't take that long for tea to brew, surely.
No.
Nice.
You make your teas in like no time flat, Jamie. Well, then
Yeah,
you're an
but-
expert, so.
But Jamie is one, an expert, and two, he's a workman. Harlan is distinctly southern and very. No, that's harsh. He's distinctly. What's
Harlan.
the word? Yes, thank you.
It's Harlan.
Um,
Shocker. That or he doesn't know he's muted. It could be either, honestly.
How is this?
Our group has a
True.
tendency to have that happen, apparently.
When I have my ridiculous.
or okay, here's another one.
Hello, Dan.
Here's another one. He's fallen asleep again.
At the kettle.
That's a bad
Wouldn't put it past
combination.
him. He's able to sleep with us shouting in his ears. Okay, so
That's fair.
Actually, yes, valid. Yeah.
Yeah. You know what? For the sake of it, I will continue. He's not going to miss much, just a description of a room. Unless he's really, really late. So. I mean, it's been 15 minutes, I'll let it be. So. As you all enter into the cave, the entrance is open before you, leaving Arachne and Bee behind. You head in. The immediate outside, which is a large open clearing with a scattering of trees and the number of statues, you see the large inside. Not as clear as the outside, but you see an expansive open area in front of you with a giant load-bearing pillar or column of rock that has otherwise been carved into in the center. You see a number of doors around its base leading into interior rooms within the column itself, but it still remains load-bearing over the roof here, almost like a donut-shaped room. The walls have several carved doorways and passageways leading off to various areas around the room itself. The chamber itself probably sitting at about 50 feet across or so. Not massive in terms of any particular like market hub or anything similar, but still a large area with a number of passageways leading off. Opposite you lies, or a little opposite to you and to the right, which you can just about see past the column, is another opening. Are you relying on dark vision? Do you have a light? How are things going?
Should we have the light? I mean, I think it's safe to say that he knows we're here.
do we actually get more distance out of using night vision? Do we have anyone that doesn't have night vision?
No. Everybody has a way of overcoming dark vision, but you get more distance from using regular light, and you also get to see color.
Oh yeah, 'cause it gets dim afterwards, doesn't it? So yeah, I'll light up a torch.
Yeah, I'll light my axe up then.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm also going to have detect magic up as well, just in case.
You cast Detect Magic. The immediate sensation is very apparent. Not having Detect Magic up all this time has been interesting. And now having it up, you can see small specks and sparkles floating around the room. And looking at your party, they shift in and out of magic. Their items seemingly disrupted, or your senses disrupted. You get a sense this is the wild magic playing up. Speaking of which, in a density area of high magic and using a fair level spell, as you are now inside.
Oh, wild magic circle.
Hmm?
Yeah. Please tell me you're doing wild magic.
Maybe.
I'm really looking forward to wild magic.
Wild magic? Wild magic? I don't like wild magic.
Oh!
I love wild magic so much.
Become a flop.
Okay. You watch as Queglod immediately casts detect magic. You watch as she looks around and the area is sparkling. As she goes to say something, you watch as a different spell comes out. And you watch as there's a and you hear Meh! As Queglod is now a sheep.
Well, wild magic.
I love wild magic. It's a sheep.
Let's all set $9,000.
Is Felipe a sheep? Or is he okay?
Felipe is a mini sheep, yes.
Baby sheep.
A mini sheep on
A mini
Queglod's
sheep
back.
that rides on my shoulder.
Yeah.
Ow.
I don't like this place.
All
I
you
really
hear
wanna
is
pet
Meh!
I'm gonna give the sheep a pat. Oh, good
Guys,
sheep.
again.
Feels
Okay,
strangely comforting, Queglod. Harlan, you missed the following. You walked into a cave, you saw some surrounding terrain, Queglod cast detect magic, saw a bunch of sparkles and then transformed into a sheep as wild magic kicked in.
Yeah.
Wait, who turned into a sheep? Was it
Queglod.
Queglod turned into a sheep? Oh, okay. For a second I thought it was Sasha that turned into a sheep.
You'd have been laughing much harder if that was the case.
Yes, I would have shaved the sheep. I would have spent time to shave the sheep in bad patterns.
Let's be honest. We all know you're scared of Queglod.
Oh yes, you should be scared of Queglod as well.
I am.
Not
Because
as a sheep.
Queglod, we don't know why we're scared of Queglod. Ultimately, we both could probably take Queglod in a fight. It's just something about
Probably.
her.
Okay, what do you do?
Well, that didn't go well.
Can we see any other light sources?
No.
Is this like a polymorph or something? Can we do an arcana check?
Go ahead and roll me an arcana check.
This is so obvious. Polymorph. At least I hope Queglod hasn't traded places
I will
with her
say,
sheep.
I will say Malcolm.
Actually, Malcolm helps out because he has the spell.
Yeah, Malcolm doing his role. It is indeed a polymorph. So you can either punch the sheep
Slap
or
her
you
up,
can wait
slap
for
her
its
up.
duration to end.
Would punching it
So
hurt
who's
Queglod?
not scared of
Potentially.
slapping Sasha or slapping Queglod?
Can I pat it harder? Just keep patting harder and harder until it turns back.
Okay. Are you letting this? Are you letting this happen, Queglod?
I will, yes.
Okay. Eventually, there is a heavy pat. Doing 5 points of damage. A sheep having 4 hit points. Queglod, you take 1 point of damage to your actual health. As you pat the sheep hard on the head, you watch as the head kind of turns back into Queglod for a moment, and then you see Queglod kind of on all fours, hands down on the ground, kind of hunched over with Felipe, otherwise riding on her back, as Felipe stops barring and starts cawing again.
Aww.
Wait,
Okay,
Felipe
I'll
was
stand
back.
back up and dust myself off. Oh, thank you, Rook.
It's okay. I was totally expecting that to happen.
Your magic vision is still up, by the way.
Okay.
Did you
And
just
you're
Lenny Queglod back to being Queglod?
Wild.
Yeah.
Yeah, magic is unstable here.
That's
Wonderful.
Not particularly good. One could even call it bad.
Elsyan slapped Sasha on the back of the head.
God, yeah, know what? I deserve that one.
Of course, no damage intended. It's just
That's
a...
fine.
Yeah. Let's be honest. I'm wearing armor, and the person who damages Elsyan.
It's more for the point. It's more for just the... You hear some ringing on your helmet, and you're like, I deserve everything that happened there.
Yeah,
I could probably deserve worse.
See,
Okay.
this
Any
really
idea
screws
where
up
to
my...
go?
This really screws
Yeah,
up
any
the fact that
anything we
my
can
only
yeah.
real use is spells.
Can we
Suppose
see
so,
any
sort of.
footprints or anything?
Roll me a survival check.
Okay, I will roll exactly that. That is a
Can we-
9 plus 6. That's 15.
15. Looking down on the ground, you proceed to look around for various tracks or prints. It is dirt in here mostly, but it is hard-trodden dirt. This used to see a lot of foot travel. There's no clear signs of any particular prints of blood-shaped boot prints or anything in particular. It looks undisturbed for the most part. There seems to be foot traffic through here, but it doesn't look like there's any particular direction it's traveling. What was that?
Are any doors open or anything?
Your mic keeps flickering in and out. I'm not sure why it's doing that.
Hello.
Hello.
Greetings.
Is there any of the doors open or anything?
They aren't doors. They're just passageways. They're doorways, so arches. You see what looks to be 4 of them in the central pillar, and then you see one leading left, a larger one across the room, and then 2 to your right, on the outer ring.
Does it look like magic's stronger in any of them? I'm assuming it's going to be pretty powerful magic where they are. See that?
You can't tell, and from what Queglod's seeing, her vision seems to be mostly disrupted.
Okay, that's... Right, I know I can see. Right, excellent. That's fun.
I assume there's no labels.
Doesn't look like it, no.
Great.
Okay, I mean... Let's get our minds into the idea of being a druid. Where would we put a big protected thing?
In a plant.
Well,
Malcolm,
you have to remember,
Malcolm bops you on the back of the head. Not always in a
Deserved.
plant.
Okay, fine. An animal's butthole, don't hit me.
God, put something in a dragon's butthole now. That would be a safe bit of treasure.
Glyph of warding against disease.
Oh.
Malcolm, any ideas?
And here we have the glyph of chastity.
Doing what he would do, he would look around to see if there's any druidic. So perception check on his part. That's a 6. Plus, what's his perception? I don't know. Plus 11. 17. Looking around.
Plus 11?
Yeah, remember he has 22 wisdom.
Crap.
Christ me.
And proficiency is plus 5, so he's proficient. Yeah, your skills are all very high right now.
The highest mine
Why
is
not?
handling.
Sasha,
That's because you're pathetic, Sasha.
Sasha, did you increase your level to 13?
I did. Okay, they're not low, but I just don't like how I want higher ones.
He's only got 4 proficiencies, and they're all pretty high. Anyway, so as you kind of looks around, there are signs in Druidic. Druidic not being an actual language per se, it's more of a series of symbols. He points out the central column itself seems to be a meeting area. There is there seems to be a larger area behind all of this through the larger passageway, and to the right and the left seem to be housing.
Okay, so I assume it'll probably be the larger area.
Yeah, a large one then?
Yeah, I would think so.
Okay. How are we travelling here and marching order?
How big is it?
The marching area going into it is about 15 foot wide.
Okay.
How long has it been?
It's probably been about 2 minutes, maybe 4
Yeah,
at this point, looking around.
Excellent.
Way more. You have an
I will go ahead then.
Okay, so starting with Rook, followed by. Are you walking side or behind him? Behind him.
Okay, which way's forward, which way's back, Chris?
Forward, back.
that way, okay.
Yes.
Sasha, where would you like to be on all this?
I'll let Sasha be in front of me.
Malcolm's going to be in the middle, and in the back.
Elsyan's going to be in the middle because Elsyan is the coward here.
Enough.
I mean, not a coward. Tactically sound.
Okay.
Yeah. Rook's the cow, you're the ard.
draw off.
As you
Felipe's going to watch our back, by the way.
As you travel through into the larger area, passing by the central pillar, you look around, you get a look, you can see that the inside seems to be an open area. There is what looks to be some form of woven reed flooring, and you can see that there seems to be a number of ladders and ropes hanging down the general sides, presumably methods for climbing up the central column. But you travel round, passing by, you go to the other large opening, and you see a second large open area. You find it otherwise open again, this one with no central pillar. You see around the area there are a lot more doorways and what look to be windows as homes and housing has been carved out. You see off to one portion on the left seems to be a market like area. In the center of this opening is a stage-like area, which stands in front of what you can see is a huge door, made of ironwood with mithril carved arcanic runes written across its surface. That otherwise, looking at it and with the light, you can see that they are scorched red and marred, otherwise destroyed. You see the residue of a magical energy lying around the glyph in almost crystalline glass, as the glyphs otherwise remain in tatters around the door itself.
I feel this might be our door that we want.
I was going to
I think we
say.
should hurry up.
Yep, I'm with Bern. Let's go.
Let's
We have time for things. We take our best hunt and we go.
Okay. You rush over to the door and you give it a hearty push. Pushing it open, it creaks open, kind of swinging partially ajar. And as you look in, with your light, you raise it up and you wander in a couple of feet. You recognize this room. It's similar to something you've seen before. You see a large domed room with what looks to be a small central hill with short purple grass. You see familiar statues of stone warriors wearing horned plate armor and helmets. They carry various military weapons of cruel design and in exotic stature. As each of them looks as ready to fight as the next. You note that they all face inwards to the center of the room in a battle-hardened position, some looking up towards the ceiling. On the opposite side of the room is a door that lies closed. It is made what looks to be a dark metal of black and blue, with two large looped handles that hang from it. The room lies silent, far from your own breathing and the faint blowing of wind from the door behind you.
I get on my knees and start crawling. I remember how this works.
Elsyan. You note that a number of the statues, looking at them with your passive perception being absolutely amazing, you note that a number of the statues have dark staining on the surface of their chests.
Do I have any idea what this dark staining could mean? Because my passive investigation and passive arcana are ridiculous as well.
In terms of passive arcana, it's not necessarily magical. You suspect it could be blood, some form of viscera, you aren't sure. Either way, a number of them have dark staining. Sasha immediately goes down onto her hands and knees and begins crawling.
Ah, where the dwarf belongs.
Rook, you are unfortunately too big to
I had
do
to take my chance, Sasha.
How did this work again, sorry?
I don't remember because that was the one session I wasn't.
You got to stay below the grass or something. It was basically stay low to the ground. That's why none of them murdered Queglod.
What's this? So,
Was this from a very long time ago?
This was
if so, I
from
think
when
I
you
remember.
first released the chambers, where you first released the Prince of Blood, the one all of you complained about the statue fight.
Oh, right, yes.
right, okay, get down low. I swear to God, Sasha, if it becomes the opposite, we've got to be really high.
You all get down low. As Rook, you crouch down onto your knees. You still crawling, are otherwise taller than the grass, and even lying down.
Okay, alright. Okay. I'm gonna dispel myself.
Okay. You Place your axe against your chest, you dispel magic, the effect fades, and you otherwise shrink.
Oh, fuck it.
Do I have like a side drawing of the room, sir?
Yes, sure. Let me quickly. So, 1 line, square, circle. There you go.
Need some details.
And I just realised I've been muted. Hello.
Welcome back. The door
Have
is
we
on this
died
side
yet?
of the room. This is the door that is otherwise lies closed, and this is the door where you entered.
And how are the statues?
I saw
The statues are all facing the middle in a scattered array.
Okay.
Some of them are looking up towards the ceiling, others are otherwise
Is there
standing
anything on
in.
the ceiling?
You look up towards the ceiling, you can't seem to see anything. Make me a perception check.
That's a 24.
Looking up at the ceiling, you see at the top of the ceiling there are 5 sockets, each of which has what looks to be a small orb of some kind socketed into it. As you kind of see that as you're looking up, crawling from your current position, you see one of the statues that Elsyan has seen, and you see that the vacant stain on its chest is a hole about the same size.
Huh.
Oh. Does it look like it's been taken away from the hole, or we need to put it in the hole?
Are you going to investigate, or are you going to perceive? Investigating means you'll be touching them.
Okay. Logically, I just want to put this forward. The Prince of Blood has to have gone through this room, right?
Mm-hmm.
So
Sure.
logically, it has to already has to have done whatever is required to get through this room.
I got the. Oh,
I
yeah.
Just we just rush through and hope for the best.
That's
Are these,
what I'm
what are these
suggesting.
two again, sir? I didn't exactly get it.
Off in,
Off
in the distance, you hear another rumble.
They're gonna.
We've got to get moving quickly.
What are these
For one
things
thing,
on
that's
the
just correct.
This is
Rush.
the door. This is the
What are
dark-
those
this is
things
the-
on the side?
It's the door to show that it's a door.
Is it open or closed?
It's closed.
We don't know
We
if it's
can
locked.
open a door. Okay, we're not going to have spent an hour looking at a door, not even trying to open it. We are going to the door. Or I am going to the door.
Are you standing up or crawling?
I'm gonna crawl.
Crawling? Come on.
Okay.
I'm not stupid.
Okay. You all,
Well, I am. But
you all crawl to the door, with the exception of Queglod, who can walk.
fucking little dust.
As you move to the door, Rook, in your crouched position, I'd like you to make me a strength check with disadvantage to try and open the door,
Okay.
given you are otherwise crouched or crawling.
Can I give aid using my telekinesis?
That is
I don't think it's
+4.
plus 4, 18. You pull the door. It is indeed unlocked, and as you kind of pull it, opens a little ways, but you see that it's kind of grinding against the dirt below. It seems to be that the dirt has otherwise moved into place where the door's been pulled open and shut. You have to stand up to
Okay.
pull the door way open.
Alright, fine. Well, we're gonna have to move quick if these things are alive. I'm gonna stand up and yank the door.
Okay, you stand up, you grab the door handle, and you pull. As you do, it shifts the earth, kind of sliding open, and the rest of you rush in. As you look back into the room behind you, the statues haven't reacted, they haven't moved, don't seem to be doing anything. You head in through the door, into the following chamber. Moving in, you see what looks to be a corridor leading forward. The first thing that catches your attention in this new corridor seems to be a refreshing smell, and the sound of rushing water. The sound is loud as it echoes down the corridor ahead of you. You venture forth.
Let's
Yes.
go.
Let's go.
Sasha's got solid logic here. Let's just keep moving.
Venturing further, you see where the water is rushing down what looks to be a spiral staircase ahead of you. The staircase curves both up and down, with a central emptiness with no railing that leads straight down. Through this center emptiness, the excess water flows over the edge of the stairs and down into what looks to be a pit below. Below you hear the sound of sucking water as it is otherwise being pulled away or drained, suggesting that it is going somewhere, or at least being drawn away. The staircase and the floor ahead of you are slick, with a thin layer of water and slime that coat the floor in a dark green.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't like it.
In this current
Everything
situation,
here is terrible.
in your current
That looks
situation,
like a buzzsaw, even though I know they're stairs.
as you stand there, clockwise is up, counterclockwise is down.
Yeah.
You otherwise stand there. I would like everybody to roll me initiative, please.
Oh, mother. Are we going to get murdered by stairs?
Mimics,
Elsin
each
hasn't
of them
been there
are
yet.
stairs.
Oh, geez.
21.
Nom, 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 nom.
15.
That's 20 plus
Okay,
2
what I
plus
should
5,
do-
27.
Come on, lucky die. Come on, lucky
I
die.
have to say, I dislike all of the stair tiles
Nope.
and Dungeon
4,
Maker Studios.
3.
They don't ever look quite right.
I like them.
These one, no, Chris. These look like someone's got a fan.
Very
tried
nice
other tiles.
fan.
I've tried other tile sets, and they're not much better though. It's hard to denote 3D in a 2D platform.
They look like an accordion that's having sex with itself.
So,
And now I need a toilet. Thanks, Chris.
you're welcome. You should have gone on break. As you...
What are you, my maths teacher?
Yes. This is D&D. This is entirely maths. Let's be honest.
Oh, right. Yeah. I'm a
All
panic
right.
attack. I thought let's go.
So, 25 to 20?
Oh, 21.
21, what was that, Rook?
27.
27. After 20, I assume.
Yeah, I got 20.
20 to 15.
That's a sexy roll, man.
15.
Not much use to me. I don't even know what I'm doing.
Okay,
here.
15 to 10. 10 to 5. 5 to 0.
4, 3.
1.
4, 3, 1.
3.
How would you
That
have
is not
both the
how you-
initiative 4 and 3, Sasha?
Well, I rolled a 4 and then I remembered that I have a -1 to sex.
Chris, you need to be remember that as the maths teacher, you need to be teaching them how to count down. Because 4, 3, it should be 2 next, not 1.
Why
4, 3, 1.
I don't need
No.
to know that. Okay, so first initiative is you, Rook. You see the staircase before you. The water is rushing down. It is otherwise rather heavy, flowing down this. It's going to be difficult to climb. For the purposes of this, you will get to choose. You can either move at half speed, which will be difficult terrain, and you will not have to make any save from climbing. Or you can try and rush it, and you will have to make a save of my choice, depending on the nature of what happens.
Wait, is the thingy going up or down?
Up.
Okay.
Down is the water pit spiral.
Okay.
Okay.
So the water is
So we-
going down the stairs and we're supposed to go up.
We're
Correct.
supposed to be fighting against stairs. Okay.
Okay. I am gonna. How deep is this water? Flow, roughly.
Looking at the water, it's about maybe, I don't know, a couple of inches at most in a layer, but it's otherwise flowing constantly.
Okay. Alright. I am going to go up the stairs, but I'm going to do it on all fours.
Okay. So
for-
taking the
for
difficult terrain.
stability. Yeah.
Okay.
But no, I was going to try and move without.
Oh, okay.
I was trying to get stability, otherwise it was difficult terrain. I just.
Okay. And do you wish to move on the inside ring or the outside ring? Inside ring is faster, but outside ring is safer.
I'll go inside ring.
Okay, so
Oh,
5,
Lord.
10,
Pretty
15,
stupid.
20, 25, 30. 35 movement, correct?
Yep.
Okie dokie. So I need to, first of all, actually flip these round. about that. Other way around. So there you go. So, it's 35 there. Go ahead and roll me a... Given that you are going on all fours, you are trying to move at a good pace, go ahead and make me a strength check. Or strength saving throw, please, sorry.
It's 15 plus 11.
Okay. Maintaining a good speed, you manage to cling on and you manage to move up at a good pace. Keeping your footing and otherwise moving. You still have an action if you wish to attempt a dash.
Do it.
Yeah, sure.
Okay,
Oh,
go ahead.
Worked.
Go ahead and roll me an additional strength saving throw, please. As you are attempting to dash.
21.
21. You manage to push through the water, travelling round. That'll be 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35. Pushing round, you make good headway. Heading up the stairs, you can feel the water beginning to push against you. You watch as it's beginning to fall down the centre. You can hear the sucking noise from far away as the rest of your party lies behind you. Elsyan, your turn.
Well, I'm going to trust that Rook's got this and follow his path up, as that should be slightly easier as he's disrupting things.
Okay.
That's my hope.
So 5,
You
10,
like the
15,
big
20,
Minotaur.
25, 30. So that'll be
Whoops.
there.
I can move 40.
Oh, you can move 40. Okay. Yeah, because you have the
Ring
ring
of
speed.
speed.
Go ahead and roll me a dexterity saving throw, as you are not on all fours. You are instead standing.
Oh, fuck. Right, yes. That was something I didn't mean to do, but it's too late now. I didn't mean to try and change where my, whew.
Nice.
22.
As you hold your posture, using Rook as a water shield to the most part, it begins to splatter and push back, and bits of water begin to flow into the channel that he's otherwise leaving behind him. But it helps, and you otherwise proceed to make your way up through your regular movement. Do you wish to dash or anything?
Yes, I'll move up another 40.
Okay. So
I'm painting here, so...
5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40. You are right behind Rook. Go ahead and roll me another dexterity saving throw, please. Given you are following suit.
Okay.
Total?
11.
Okay. You otherwise slow down. It's shaky, but you do not fall. Your movement is otherwise 0, and you will need to make a Constitution saving throw next turn to not be pushed off. But otherwise your movement becomes 0 this turn, which doesn't matter because you moved. And that is the end of your turn. Malcom, on his turn, he is going to open his wings and attempt to fly over the top. 5, 10, 25, 30. Doing what he needs to do, he needs to make a strength saving throw against the water as best he can, as it is otherwise still present. With his total to that is unfortunately a 7. He stops in his track as the water is otherwise eventually and slowly frothing up as there are layers of water coming down. It's difficult for him to move any further. He stops there. Next in the initiative, Queglod. Now, you're a small creature, so any strength checks will be with disadvantage.
Yes, if I merge with Felipe, can I just fly up?
You can attempt to, yeah.
You saw that, Sam.
Okay, I will attempt to do that then.
Okay. You merge with
I
Felipe.
imagine the voice of Felipe.
5, 10, 15. What's his move speed?
Should be 50 feet fly.
5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. Okay, go ahead and roll me a... I'll say dexterity saving throw, given your size, to attempt to avoid any of the water that's otherwise bubbling up.
Okay, can I not fly above that?
Oh, God.
You can. There are waves of water, however, that come down from the ceiling, so it's not necessarily
Right.
up the problem.
Okay. Dexterity, you said?
Yeah, dexterity.
That's 10 total.
10. You manage to avoid it for the most part. It does slow you down, so you'll have half speed for this, but you are otherwise able to move safely. So 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. That will be the way you're able to get, given the rest of your movement and the 50 fly speed. Okay. Next in the initiative order, after Queglod. And this is where things get interesting.
Sasha.
Oh no.
No. As in this moment, as Rook is otherwise pushing up, there is a shift in the water as it otherwise grows round him. I am going to attempt... Eve, I can do this on Rook. He's not too big for me.
Harlan.
Yeah.
Be quiet, Harlan.
I heard the laugh. I heard a penis joke coming.
Okay, so I make
Wasn't that? I'm just scared.
So one attack versus Rook. That is a 20
No.
to hit.
Nope.
Okay, as this happens, you watch as the water around you begins to attempt to almost bind around you. The water itself coming alive as it attempts to kind of swirl around you and stop you in your path, but otherwise fails. It is also going to attempt to do that to Elsyan, as he is present in water.
Fuck you.
Yeah, that worked apparently. That's a 9 to hit. No.
Elsyan's just holding up a middle finger at the water as she tries to bind it. Fuck off.
Otherwise leaves you alone. Versus Queglod in Raven form, it is going to attempt to whelm up and otherwise grab Queglod. That is again a 9 to hit and misses. And versus Malcom, oh poor Malcom, that's a 23 to hit.
I'm not sure how you do it.
Okay.
Oh god.
Malcom
Sans.
is immediately coated in water, taking 6 points of bludgeoning damage and is otherwise grappled in place.
No, he's fine.
Even though he's flying, yeah, the water reaches up and grabs him, wrapping around his form. Okay. End of that. Sasha, it is your turn. You watch as Malcom is otherwise reaches up and grabs Malcom. You see the rest of your companions travel up the stairs, and you can hear them roughly above you.
Right. So, can I see that it's water that's holding Malcom?
Yes, it is.
Right. I move forward and I snap off a destroy water.
Okay. As you do, the water disappears in the nearby vicinity. Malcom is no longer grappled, and the water dissipates. In that immediate moment, as you destroy the water, you hear a from above. I would like everybody who is on the stairs to roll me a strength saving throw, except for those except for those of you who are flying. So Felipe and Malcom are otherwise unaffected. So Rook and Elsyan, make me strength saving throws, please.
That's 29. Pretty sure I'm fine.
Okay, 29. You're
That's
fine.
8.
8.
Right, what is that number? 8, yes.
You
Nope,
hear...
nope, 9.
9. Amazing. You hear the from above, and you hear as it begins to spiral down the stairs, a massive wave of water. As it rushes down, Rook, you brace for impact, digging yourself in as it glides and pushes over you. Elsyan, you take cover behind him, but it's not necessarily much of a help. As the wave hits, you are otherwise pushed back down the stairs. 10, 20, 25, and 30. Roll me a dexterity saving throw to not fall off the edge, please.
Ed?
Yeah.
As much as I hate to remind
Where
you
is
of it,
it?
I'd use the spell, Chris.
20.
Oh, that's fine. It doesn't affect here.
Okay.
Where does this edge go?
That goes down, and once you go down, you have to climb back up this. Down here is water, and there is a whirlpool down there, sucking the water away.
You know, no one says water levels are fun, Chris.
This is fun. I'm enjoying it. All right, you did succeed, however. As you stop yourself, you quickly grab onto a few of them. Kind of, you're skidding along the stone as the water pushes past you. The water wave rushes past here and splashes against you two before it continues on down. As this happens, Elsyan, you swear you saw a set of eyes in the water.
Motherfuckers! The water's alive!
Okay.
Oh, what in the wall?
Eyes.
Oh,
Okay. So, Sasha, is there anything else you want to do? Water has otherwise replaced this, but Malcolm's no longer grappled.
I'm just moving forward.
Okay. Half speed or
Like,
regular?
Literally. Huh?
Half speed or regular?
Oh, I'm taking this slow and steady. I'm getting through this weather.
So 5, 10, 15, 25, 30. What's your move speed?
It's 25.
25?
Shouldn't be 25.
I'm a dwarf, man.
No, it should be 30 base.
He's a dwarf. They've got lower movement than every other race.
Do they?
They should start
Yep.
30.
They should start with 30.
No. Dwarf,
Yeah.
man.
Oh, your base walking speed is 25 now?
Because dwarves are like
Yeah.
halfway
Is it
between
really?
small and medium.
Yeah.
Their movement speed is not reduced by heavy armor.
Oh,
Yeah, their
man,
base
that
walking speed is
sucks.
not reduced by heavy armor.
Bear in mind, dwarves are like the equivalent of dwarves are for small and medium, what Goliaths and Minotaur are for medium and
Yeah.
large.
Yeah, but then, yeah, that's weird. Okay. So, in such a case, 25. You stop there. You need not make a save. Oh,
I swear we have this conversation every time it comes up.
probably, yeah.
Oh, and yeah. So I just following behind Sudz, really.
Bern, what are you doing?
Oh, can I set up my shield in front of me?
Yeah, bonus action, you raise your shield in front of you to help. What were you doing?
Getting off of the station.
Okay. Climb up
So,
onto Devastation. You
movement speed is 45. Because it's half of 90, right?
Yes, it is. So it would be 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, because you've got to go past Elsyan. 45 will be there.
Yep.
Roll me a strength saving throw, please. Okay,
Or, let me check.
that's fine. You succeed the save. As you move past, travelling up, the water does whelm up in an attempt to froth and catch you, but you otherwise glide over it with Devastation. Moving over it and moving round. Do you wish to dash?
You said you were 2 million earlier.
So, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45. Go ahead and roll me another strength saving throw, please, as the water's going to whelm up in an attempt to strike you. Infernal?
12. Yeah.
Yeah. As you...
Is that enough?
Yeah, I heard you. We're just cutting out a little bit.
Yeah, is that enough? I said.
As you move forward, the water again whelms up against you. You slow down and are otherwise brought to a halt, as you are not able to move this turn. But you've used all your movement, so that is the end of that.
Oh, but I succeeded.
You succeed that you don't get knocked, but you fail enough that your movement becomes 0 for the rest of the turn,
But I
which
don't
doesn't
get
matter because
grappled.
you don't get grappled there. That's not on your turn anyway. So back to the top, Rook. You see Bern glide past you as he's otherwise moving round.
Nice. Nice. I'm gonna keep on going.
Okay. You keep going. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35. Roll me a strength saving throw, please. You're on all fours, pushing forward.
Do not fail me. There's 4 plus 11.
4 plus 11, 15. You manage to resist it enough that you are no longer that you aren't going to be pushed back at all, as you keep yourself crawling upwards, slowly but surely making your way. Do you wish to dash?
Yeah.
10, 25, 30, 35. Go ahead and roll me a strength saving throw.
That is 22.
22. Keeping yourself in a good posture, you push forward, making your way up the stairs, slowly but at a relatively good pace, and pushing past the water. Elsyan, your turn.
Excellent. Elsyan's going to copy Rook's idea, try to get on all fours as he's pushing upwards.
Okay. Regular speed or half speed?
I'm going to be trying to push to try and make up the ground that I've lost, so
Thank God.
regular speed.
Regular speed. Okay, make me a strength saving throw. 5,
That I
10,
can do.
20, 25, 30, 35, 40. Well, no.
That can't
No,
possibly
sorry,
wrong.
wrong one. It's supposed to be... I skipped one back.
22.
22. You push past, pushing through the water and making it up to where Bern is. You see Bern slowly hovering above the water as you make your way round. Do you wish to dash?
I shall dash.
5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40. Make me a strength saving throw, please.
I can do this. I'm going to use the other dice because I'm really superstitious with that, didn't I?
Oh, God. The other dice. 13. You hold your position. Your movement speed is otherwise reduced to 0, which doesn't matter at this point. But you otherwise hold your position, kind of sticking in place as you freeze for the turn. Okay. End of your turn. Malcolm's turn. He is going to try and move again. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. He cannot join your tile, so he's going to move over there.
Is it only 30? Is his flight only 30?
Yeah, his flight's only 30. Oh. It's natural wings from a trait, so... Okay, with that strength save, he fails. You watch as he tries to fly forward, as the water whelms up and wraps around him and pulls him down. I need to roll to see what direction he heads in. Okay, you watch as he is pulled over the edge by the water. As it pulls him over, he falls down to the lower level and then begins to fall down further. Sasha, you watch as he's beginning to fall down past you. What do you do?
I grab him and try and stop him.
Okay, roll me a strength check, please. As you quickly grab hold of whatever you can, the slick surface, as you reach down, you grab onto his arm. It is enough. As you hold your position, he hangs there dangling. You hear the of the water below as it's pulling down and away from all of this. His feet dangling just above it as you hoist him up, pulling him back to start.
Water falling through the middle as well.
Do better next time!
There is waterfalls coming down from the upper layers down through the middle, yes.
So there's no hole in the middle, like, between all of them? Or...
Yeah. So if you imagine it, it's basically just a number of stairs going up in a spiral, but there's a massive hole in the middle, going all the way down.
Asking if there's, like, a small opening in the middle where you can fly up in.
Yeah.
Or is it all covered by water falling down?
So, okay. If I draw it like this, there's a straight hole straight through the middle of all that, which you can go up or down, but there is waterfalls going down through that bit.
Yeah,
there's
I'm
a
asking
hole
if all the
through...
water
if you
cover the entire hole, or is there a small opening in the middle where there's no water?
There would be an opening. There would be an opening, yeah. It would be a very slight opening, but there would be one, yeah. At
you
which
get
point...
caught in that, you're going straight down.
Speaking of which, it is Queglod's turn.
Yes, is this the kind of opening that a small bird could get through?
Most likely, yeah. You'd have to travel through a waterfall to potentially get there, but it's possible.
Okay, I'd like to, this feels risky, but I'm going to go for it anyway.
We believe in you.
Yeah, I'd like to sort of get, like, almost wind up almost, and then try and dash through the waterfall as quick as possible, like beak first.
Okay. Looking for an opening, make me a dexterity check then, which is a +1 as a Felipe.
Ugh.
8. You look for the opening, and as you move to dash through, the water closes the opening. As the water wraps around you, you feel your body become heavy as it begins to be pulled down. Sasha does not have her reaction. Bern, do you wish to try and catch Queglod? Actually, no, she's above. She's below you. You can't. Sorry. Huh? Malcolm has his reaction. Yeah. So Malcolm is going to attempt to catch Felipe. This will be a strength check on his part. Try and catch the bird. That is a natural 1. As he goes to reach for Felipe, going to grab Felipe, he takes a step out, and the slime slips from under him as he too begins to fall, spiraling down, as the two of you end up in the water, in the whirlpool at the bottom. You're beginning to be drawn inwards by the whirlpool, but you are currently not being crushed.
No, don't say currently.
Yes. Queglod, that ends your turn, unless you have anything you wish to try.
How are we meant to survive?
I really can't swim very well as a bird, so I'm gonna have to.
Revert back.
Civilian can't drag
Yeah,
out
revert.
Okay. You revert back into the small halfling you are, and otherwise proceed to be in the water. Okay. End of your turn. It is now my turn with the whelms. So, first whelm versus... Okay, I can do one whelm versus 3 targets. On the stairs, I'm going to do 1 versus Bern, 1 versus Rook and Elsyan, because they're the 3 highest members. Rook. Nope, that's a 9. Elsyan, that's a 12. And Bern, that is a... Sorry, mate, that's a 24. Okay.
Yeah, fuck you too, please. Fuck you too.
Yeah, you're welcome. The whelm reaches up. As it grabs you, you take 8. Nope. 11 points of bludgeoning damage, as it otherwise attempts to crush you and pull you down, and you are grappled.
I can't even get a save.
Sasha, it is your turn. You currently see below you Malcom and Queglod, both of whom are in the whirlpool and spinning. They're getting closer and closer to the center of it.
Is it possible to grab him out? What's
From this distance, you'd have to go down the stairs in order to get there, but it's possible. The way it's positioned at the bottom is it's the same size as this. The whirlpool's in the center, and there's a set of stairs on the right-hand side. So you can pull them out and pull them up the stairs. But you'd have to go down the stairs in order to do so. Currently, Malcom and Queglod are both holding hands because Malcom reached for Queglod.
Oh.
That's cute. They're gonna die together, holding hands.
Fine, I'm going down the fucking stairs and grabbing them both. It's not like I've come very far anywhere, is it?
15, 20, 25. You'll have to... unless you want to jump, you won't be able to reach them from your position. You have to go 5, 10, 20, 25. You get there. You need to be there, which is another 10 feet of movement.
Can't go diagonal?
No, you have to go around the full thing. Otherwise, you'd be walking across the edge of this and you fall in.
Right, give me a second. Fuck, you'd think I'd have something for this.
Wall of fire. It died by incineration.
They can grab onto it.
That's not how that works. But sure.
One word. Rope.
Question is, do you
As much
have
as I
any?
hate to admit it, he is right. I do have rope on me.
Do you want to use rope?
I'm a rope.
Okay. You grab the rope off of your pack, you chuck a bit over the end, you hold on to the other end, not like some character I played once. Go ahead. I think that was Berg. The one that Infernal, you remember the dwarves we played? Drog and Drog, yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, when I threw the rope, but I let go of the other end. Yeah.
Yeah. Right. This dwarf is gonna actually hang on to it.
Okay, so Sasha, go ahead and make me a strength check, please. The other two, you two grab onto it and you're stopped from being pulled into the whirlpool. As Sasha holds on, you begin to slide and it's slick. You can either preserve yourself and you remain present, or you go down with them.
Should be like a pebble.
I'm gonna need to make an out of character roll for this.
Okay, go ahead. Next on the scene will be Bern.
Sasha goes down with the ship.
Okay. Sasha slides and goes, just hits the water. Sploosh. The rest of you hear as Sasha hits the water below.
Okay. Oh, what the fuck do I want?
if Rook was not fighting the water in the face palmed right now.
Let's see, can I even help? Okay. Can I send my spear down the hole over the edge here so they can hang on and pull themselves up?
Okay. Obviously, it will give them advantage on their next check. You make an immediate strength check, please, as you land in the water after being otherwise grappled.
Yeah.
Okay. That was an 18. I saw it. Don't worry. As you land in the water, you are still grappled, but your spear disappears off, traveling down, shooting down past the water, piercing through it before it positions itself almost like a clock hand in preparation for the rest of the party to grab on and stop themselves from drowning.
Yeah. Actually.
Change of plans. I mean, you've already done it, so.
I'm just thinking.
Actually,
do
I'd
I
like to just leave them to their deaths, please.
grapple them with it? If that would help, I don't know if that would help.
Currently, all three of them are connected by rope. Granted, it's a long bit of rope because of the nature of it. Sasha's on the longer end, but...
Oh yeah, because the rope went with.
Yeah.
We're just tied up in a bundle now. Oh
Okay.
my god.
Now, you can't move. It is your action to have your spear move down there and stay in its position down there. So what would you like to do as a bonus action?
So I can't do anything. I would like to fortify it in place to basically focus on.
Okay. It holds itself in place. End of Bern's turn. Rook.
Okay, I'm just gonna keep on trudging then.
Okay. Make me a strength check, please, as the water is heavier here.
Oh my god.
Actually, no, athletics, sorry.
And athletics? Athletics, that's 9, so that's 18.
18. You push forward up the last little bit. As you push up, you make it to here. You see that water is still falling down up to this point. And as you look, you see that there is a blue orb that is otherwise letting out spouts of water above you on the ceiling about 10 foot up.
Kill
Okay.
it. Kill it.
Can I fling my axe at it?
Go ahead and make me an attack roll, please. I'll say with disadvantages, it's traveling through water.
Okay. Well,
Same roll.
plus 11.
Well, disadvantage really worked there.
Yep. You throw your axe up. It hits the orb, and you hear tink as it sets into place, and the water immediately stops as it begins to run down each layer. Elsyan, your layer will be clear of water next turn. It'll on this turn, and then it'll be each one after that. You note around it, you watch as a timer counts down 60, 59, 58, 57, 56, as it goes round the outside the orb itself. It will reset itself in 1 minute's time.
Okay, right.
2 of them can fly. One of them needs to hurry the fuck.
Can I throw a rope down? How deep down from me to?
It's about 80 feet down. So unless you've got 100 or more feet of rope, you're not going to be able to hit them.
Where is my rope? Oh my god, I've got so much crap in my inventory. Hammer, tortured Bastion, hempen rope. I have 100 foot of hempen rope.
Okay. You throw the
I'm
rope
gonna
down.
throw
Make
rope
me a
down.
strength check to stop yourself from sliding over the edge with the slick flooring.
Oh jeez, that is.
Another one
that's
bites the
15.
dust. It's a strength check, so it'll be plus your
Oh right. Cool.
plus 4.
Strength, yeah.
Elsyan, you watch as Rook reaches the top and turns off the water, and you're like, yeah! Before you watch, ah! As he goes past you, Bern past you, and with the rest of the water, he lands with a sploosh in the middle of the pile.
What just happened?
As Rook has joined the rest of his comrades down there. Yeah, okay, this is becoming interesting. Okay. End of Rook's turn. Elsyan, you watch the rest of your party dissipate, and the water is now faded from your level. You watch as the eyes which you saw throughout the water kind of scattered a bit, dissipate following the rest of the water down.
Okay, well, I'm gonna I'm going to push my way up to the top
5, 10,
and leave them to die.
20,
No.
40. Dash.
How high up am I?
You're...
How high up?
How high up are you compared to the rest of them?
Yeah.
20, 40, 60 feet.
Oh, bugger. Okay, can I not move up then?
I'll say there, and you'll be at 55. How close do you
You
need
know
to
what?
be?
I need to drop my 50 foot of rope down. So,
So, staying where you are then.
Oh no.
Okay, you spend your action, you throw your rope over, make me a strength check to stop them to not slide off.
Okay, give me a second, Chris. I'm just throwing rope over. And secondly, they need to get hold of before I make a check. I'm trying to find somewhere to tie the other end down to first. Don't grab onto it yet, otherwise I will end up there as well.
Guys.
Okay, if the party doesn't grab onto it, you look around, you see slick stairs and yourself.
Fuck! Wait! No, wait, okay, oh, bugger. Damn it! Curse me not changing what talents I had prepared. I'm gonna pull some bullshit, like putting my hand on the wall, doing body meld with the wall, and hoping for the best. That would have worked, but I don't have it prepared.
Yeah, the rest of the party grabs on. What happens? Click. Ah! Just like his arm starts taking damage every time the party moves.
I just get up here already. Sasha, I need some healing, you whore. Okay,
Right.
Elsyan is going to do his best to hold on for dear life.
Strength check then, please.
One at a time. I'm very weak and fragile.
You got the two heaviest in the party.
11.
Elsyan.
11.
Flat.
11. You throw the rope over, and you tell the party one at a time.
I'm weak and fragile.
As you hold the rope in place, the first one who grabs it is Queglod. Nice and easy. You can lift Queglod up as Queglod begins to slowly climb the rope. Before it gets a certain way up and you can feel yourself slipping, do you preserve yourself or do you go down with the ship?
Okay, if it was anyone else, I would just let Queglod die.
She's not going to die from this. She's just going to go down back to the water.
Can I use my telekinesis in any way to aid me with this?
How would you use it?
I would effectively use the telekinesis to effectively reinforce a point past my hand so I can get a better grip and a better foothold briefly.
Okay. I will say with that. Yeah, I'll say you stay in place, holding your position. You don't slide off, and you do not need to sacrifice yourself. Queglod, however, is the only one who can climb this rope.
I know. I'm effectively doing it and then grabbing back hold again to be firm, using telekinesis at the same time. So that's sort of two hands holding instead of one.
Fair enough. Okay.
Oh, how high up the rope am I?
You're about 5 feet up. You have to move the rest on your movement.
Fucking hell.
Okay.
Oh, God. I'm weak and fragile. Be quick about it.
Okay. Malcom
As you run the stairs.
Malcom on his turn. I have no idea what he can do.
He's gonna fly up. What's he gonna do?
He's in the water.
His wings.
Can't take off.
Take my spear. Spear's there for a reason, Chris.
Yeah. Or. Do I?
Tell us what it is.
I could just B-shape and turn him into a giant crocodile and have him pick you guys up. That seems like a Malcom thing to do.
But how many of those does he get?
Yeah, he gets 2. So, and he gets them on short rests.
I'd say so as many.
Okay, he'll grab onto the spear then. Give it an attempt.
Yeah, so you have advantage. You
Yeah,
said you have advantage. Oh, not that much.
it's fine. Natural 20. As he grabs on, he pulls himself up, and with it, the otherwise Queglod. Do you wish to go with him, or do you wish to go with the spear, the one you currently have hold of?
I'll go with the rope, I guess. I mean, I've
Okay. Which goes?
already got.
5, 10.
You don't fly up the middle now because there's no water.
It's still coming down. I said it disappears
Oh.
after the next 2 turns.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, it's going to go there. Okay. He is going to end his turn there and be cautious, and he's going to wait to help somebody with his action and aid their climbing. Queglod, given your position, you are able to climb. Roll me a strength check, or an athletics check to see how far you get up.
Oh boy.
Total?
15 total.
15. With a good strength, you use your action, but you begin to climb up it. Moving 30 feet up, you are about here in terms of where you are positioned. You will need to go a little bit further in order to get to Elsyan, or you can attempt to dismount.
There's no water coming down at this point, or is it?
It will be next round that there'll be no water on this level.
I'll keep going up for now.
Okay, so you will hold your position on there.
Yeah.
Okay, initiative comes round for the water. The water is currently on this level. It is going to attack Bern, Malcom, and it's going to attempt to drown Sasha. So, Malcom, oh no, Bern, there's a 22. That is a 18 against Malcom, which hits. And then Sasha, that is a 21. Does that hit Sasha?
What?
21.
Nope.
Nope. As it attempts to pull you down, you just thrash about a bit, smashing the water as it lets go of you. Burn! You take 11 points of bludgeoning damage, and you are grappled again. Actually, no, you're already grappled, so it's actually going to attempt to shove you 5 feet. Make me a strength saving throw.
That is a lot of food.
How much?
14.
14. As it, in that moment, as you remain in your place, you feel the water push you, and your feet slide. But you manage to turn around and you bat the water away as you grab onto some form of ledge on the rock, and you otherwise hold your position, dangling, but you are otherwise in place. You have not been pushed. And Malcom is grappled again, and Malcom takes 6 points of damage. Alright. He is grappled again. So, end of its turn. Sasha.
I don't... What can I do in this situation?
You can grab onto the spear and attempt to pull yourself out.
Then I'm doing that.
Okay, go ahead and roll me a athletics check then. Yes.
Oh boy.
Yep, advantage because of the spear being in place.
Okay.
Because it's effectively there. Actually, no, the spear would have been the help action for one person. I'll say it didn't happen for Malcom or a natural 20, so roll with advantage.
Roly roly, goes the poly!
Okay.
Oh, thank God.
20 at least. You pull yourself free, making your way up 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, as you are otherwise free of the whirlpool below. Bern, it is your turn. You are still grappled. You can use your action to try and aid Rook, or you can do something else.
I shall. Can I use an attack without doing damage to it?
Okay.
Oh, wait, fuck, no, no, it's not gonna work.
You want just aid?
No, I was thinking of something else, but that won't work. Yeah, I'm gonna aid, and for myself, I'm just gonna heartbeat myself and attempt to not get pushed by the fortify myself.
Okay. Heartbeat yourself and you hold your position. End of Bern's turn. Rook, this layer is now clear of water. Rook, you are in the water below. You can roll me an athletics check to escape, unless you wish to try another method.
I will roll an Is this an action
Yes.
to do then? Right.
You have advantage.
Yep, you
Have
have
advantage.
advantage because you're being given aid, but I don't think that's necessary with a plus 11, so it's fine.
That's not athletics. It'd be +9.
Oh, plus 9. No, 25. You pull yourself up, moving 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35. Moving around back to the beginning, with the water slowly trickling down and back down to the base.
What has it been?
Hmm?
How long has it been on the time?
Your area is currently clear, and it's been 2 rounds, so 12 seconds. Okay. Elsyan, is there anything you wish to try? Do you wish to try and pull Queglod up, or are you just going to try and keep going up?
You know what? I'm going to try to keep going up while holding onto the rope.
Okay. Go ahead and roll me a strength check with advantage, given you are using telekinesis to anchor it to something.
Come on, actually highlight it.
Okay.
So that is a 16.
Okay. I will consider it half speed.
Walking.
5, 10, 15, 20. As you are going half speed, but you're otherwise holding onto the rope. Using dash action, or do you wish to try something else?
Fuck it, dash action.
5, 10, 15, 20. Okay. You are reaching the top. You can see the orb at the top now.
Excellent.
Okay. On Malcolm.
Can I see anything at the top to tie this rope to?
Other than the orb, no. Looking around, you can see that there is a little bit of light up ahead, but you don't know what it is.
Oh, if I... Nah, fine. Fine.
As you... Or at the end of your turn, Malcolm is going to attempt to ungrapple himself with a strength saving throw. Or strength check, rather. Okay. He manages to break free of the water and begins to slowly move up. 5, 10, 20... No, 15, sorry, because he's moving half speed, so he doesn't get grappled again. Queglod. You are currently free of water on your current level. You can let go of the rope and climb up manually, or you can try and climb the rope to where Elsyan currently is.
I'll dismount and climb normally.
Okay. So, 5, 10,
And the rope's got a lighter.
20, 25, 30, 35, because you're having a speed, correct?
Yes.
Yep.
Am I able to dash? Sure.
You can dash if you wish, yep. And Elsyan, the rope doesn't feel lighter because of the telekinetic anchor you've set it to.
Oh, fair, fair.
As
it's easier.
As you watch Queglod appear behind you. 5, 10,
Yeah.
5, 30,
Oh my god. More speed.
Nani?
Shove Elsyan off. He's the only one who hasn't gotten wet yet. The rest of you have Shishkri clothing, so you're all fine.
No,
We all have Shishkri clothing, and don't you dare push me in.
Yeah.
Okay.
There's a line Elsyan will go up to with this fear of Queglod.
Okay. 3 attacks, 1 versus Malcolm, 1 versus Rook, 1 versus Sasha. Malcolm, that misses on a 10. Rook, that misses on a 10. Sasha, that misses on a 14. You're otherwise unaffected by the water. Moving forward, the rest of you are unobstructed.
Should have enough time to dash up there.
Yep, they have enough time to dash up. As you all move up, making your way to the top, Queglod and Elsyan, you make it first. As the two of you move up, you see a set of large doors in front of you. Again, similar to the previous ones. They are slick, kind of ironwood and metal, covered with a thin layer of algae growing into the wood itself with a slight mold. You see the set of double doors currently there in place with two braziers to either side of it, otherwise unlit at the moment. But there are low coal embers showing, suggesting that they were previously lit. The rest of the party...
What happens if we light them?
Okay. So the rest of the party is making its way up. Do you wish to try and light them?
I think we should try the doors first, in case it locks
Yeah.
them.
Elsyan's we're going to try the door. Everyone get ready, and Session, get up past the orb.
Can I say something before you open the door? Should we have Rook first, not you?
It's fine, I can tank. I go to open the door.
Okay. You go to open the door, and the door swings open.
See, it's fine.
You see inside this room, after the passing through the algae slick door, it opens up into a much smaller chamber. Almost probably enough to fit you all, but not large enough to hold a party in or a fight by any means. You see in the center of the room is an obelisk, and across from it is a set of double doors that lie closed.
Wonderful.
As you enter into the room, the doors close behind you.
What could go wrong?
Hi, evil
Can you
stairs.
detect magic this Queglod?
Yes, I will attempt to do so.
Detect magic?
Yeah.
Oh,
Okay.
oh God.
As you
I
do
mean-
and you cast Detect Magic, your eyes light up. There is still the light sparkle around you, but it doesn't seem to be nearly as dense here. You see, as you look in, you see the obelisk is otherwise lit up with a magical radiance. The magical radiance seems to be that of... Give me a moment. I need to actually remember what the thing's called. It is otherwise seething with a light illusion magic.
Okay, there's some sort of illusion associated with that obelisk. It doesn't appear to be too strong,
Oh,
but it doesn't seem like it was set up in a hurry either. I'd advise everyone to be careful until we figure out what's happening.
Okay.
Just the obelisk or around it as well?
Just the obelisk.
Okay.
Can we go around?
Yeah, you can go around the obelisk. It's just in the center of the room.
Okay.
Oh.
I was tempted to just go and try them doors. All the other doors have been unlocked.
I'm gonna get on top of my spear and down slowly
Get on top of your spear and what?
and go past it. Try and go to the other side.
You do so. Float round it to the other side. You're at the door.
Should I open it? Go away for you.
Try and open it.
You hear the water begin behind you. Before you hear ting from beyond the door.
What? From which door?
The one in front of you. The rumbling. A third one.
I open the door.
You go to try the door. It's locked.
It's locked.
No, I actually have to do one of these puzzles.
I'm back.
Okay. Alright. Is there any markings on the obelisk?
Would you like to perceive or investigate? Touch or look?
I'm going to... Well, I'm gonna look. I'd like to investigate because my investigation is high, but I have a bad feeling about this. So I'll investigate. I've got a fair bit of health.
Okay. Roll me an investigation check.
I'm gonna move him down here before he falls off. That's 17 plus 6.
Fine. You move up and you kind of look at the obelisk at a close, and as you kind of run your fingers down it, you feel there are grooves along the surface of it, almost like etched markings, but it's nearly impossible to tell. As you slowly run your fingers down, you watch as it kind of bursts with radiance, and the black kind of obsidian obelisk lights up with text written on the surface of it. Do any of you speak or read Celestial?
Nope. I've got deep speech, but I can't do celestial.
Nope.
Big nope.
Does
I did have it before.
I don't believe Malcolm does. No.
I did before
Draconic,
we took away one of my
Infernal,
languages
Druidic, and
for some
Common.
reason.
I yell out, can anyone read what it says?
No. I've got common, giant, and goblin. I'm a goblin,
Everyone-
I suppose.
Can you just do your scholar thing, please?
Yeah, I'll do it.
Okay. As you switch your scholar, you watch as the language becomes clear. And it reads the following. I'll copy this into the chat as I read it. It reads the following. Beyond this horizon, the beast of Fleshrend lies. Its arms remain bound by the compass and its 4 points. With the life and spirit removed, the beast remains dormant. Turn back, or should it wake, there is no stopping it.
So, just...
Who's ready
We've
to
had
wake
3
up?
booms. We need to get in there now. There's only one compass point still holding it.
Let's go. We don't have time to waste.
As you go and you pull on the door, it pulls open.
Oh.
As you open the door, there is a bright light as it streams in across you. You immediately squint from the slight light that's being given off by the axe to a sudden bright radiance which rushes down upon you. The air in here as you take the step is humid, warm and calm. As it lightly brushes past you and into the chamber where you currently stand, the doors now wide open, you see a vast rainforest-like area, but made of rusted ironwood trees, the grass a yellowed tinge, and a lightly cracked earth around the doorway where you stand. You hear the chittering of insects, the scuttling of rodents, and the flapping of wings as a flock of birds disappear off as you open up the door.
Okay.
That is where we're going to end the session tonight. So, for the Twitch and YouTube side, thank you for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed. And we will see you in the next one. Bye-bye.
Bye.